All right, thank you, everyone. Getting opening here the session. Call to order, and we'll start with reading the rules of speaking. John, do you want to go ahead?
Sure. Hello. Aloha. This is your community public forum. Your input and cooperation are really appreciated. The ʻEwa Neighborhood Board is an advisory board, and we provide fairness, integrity, and collaboration to all to increase and assure effective citizen participation in the decision of government. Anyone wishing to speak is asked to raise their hand, and when recognized by the chair, to address comments to the chair. Speakers are encouraged to keep their comments under 2 minutes and 1 turn per person. Those giving reports are urged to keep their reports less than two minutes and presentations under 10 minutes. Please silence all electronic devices. Video teleconference. The board will be making a good faith effort to provide the public with the opportunity to observe the meeting as it happens and an opportunity to provide oral testimony without a physical presence in the physical meeting room. Please ensure that your computer or phone is muted unless you are speaking. Note, the board may take action on any agenda item as required by the state sunshine law, HRS 92. Specific issues not noted on the agenda cannot be voted on unless added to the agenda. A 2/3 vote, that means 8 members of this 11-member board is needed to add an item to the agenda. Items may not be added if they are a major importance and will affect a significant number of people. Thank you.
Thank you, John. All right, we'll do the introduction of board members. We'll start with those currently present. We'll start at the far end down there.
My name is Dave Morris.
Good evening, everybody. Shane Greenland.
Hello, John Rogers.
Hello, Mitchell Tananes.
Alexander Gauss. We'll go ahead and move online.
Susan Garman.
Go ahead, Susan. Go ahead.
Susan Garman Chang. Aloha.
Hi, Mike Plowman.
Corey.
Aloha, Corey Rosenly.
All right, excellent. Thank you. All right, we'll go ahead and move on to public safety first responder reports, starting with the Honolulu Fire Department.
Hi, good evening. My name is Brian Rooney. I'm a firefighter 3 at the F Beach Fire Station on engine 24, and I will be reading the incident statistics for June of 2026. So for June, we've had 1 wildland brush fire, 1 nuisance fire, 6 activated alarms, no fire, 182 medical emergencies, 1 motor vehicle collision with pedestrian, 1 motor vehicle crash collision, as well as 1 ocean rescue. And for the fire safety tips and announcements, our fire safety tip is hiking safety. And popular summer activities often include hiking our beautiful island trails. Here are some helpful tips to ensure you enjoy your adventure safely. Plan ahead, choose a trail that is within your skill and stamina level. Visit www.hawaiitrails.org for more information about official trails. Check the weather. Remember to factor the rain, wind, and swell forecast. Stay on the trail, never leave the trail or endanger yourself for a photo. Bring a buddy, ensure someone knows your plans, and watch the time. Ensure you can return home before it gets dark. Any questions?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any questions from the board? Online? Any questions from the community? All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Next, we'll go with the Honolulu Police Department. What's that? Do we have someone online from the Honolulu HPD?
Yeah, Corporal Makino has the stats, but I think he's having a problem with his mic.
Okay. Why don't we go ahead and jump?
Can you hear me?
But he's on now.
My connection is kind of bad right now.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Hi. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can you hear us? We could hear you when you were speaking just now.
All right, Alex, why don't you go on to the next one and I'll get the stats from him and read it off.
Yeah, perfect. We'll move to, and if we need to, we can go back to him. If not, Corporal Pagan. So yeah, we'll go ahead with Eva. We
Can you hear me?
unit.
Sorry.
Sure. Yeah, I think you're cutting out. Corporal Pagan, why don't you just go ahead with the Eva Weed and Seed, and we'll see if we can come back.
Okay, thanks. At Corporal Pagan, Honolulu PC Department, District 8, Weed and Seed. The only thing that I did want to mention is that we are wrapping up our summer culinary program at Campbell High School. We had 13 students this year. The class was taught by executive chef Randy Bangloy from Roy's Coolina. We have our appreciation banquet for our sponsors next week, and then we'll be wrapping that up. That's the only thing I have. We'll be giving you guys a little bit more information later coming around regarding the U.S. Attorney's Safer Communities Fair that we're going to be having at Pearl Ridge in September, I believe. So we'll be giving you guys information as that comes closer. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
Excellent. Thank you, Corporal. Any questions from the board? Community? Any questions? Okay, we'll give HPD one more try to see if get the mic working.
Yeah, I think I got it. Okay.
Excellent.
Corporal Corey Makino, District 8 Community Policing. Online with me is also Corporal Roland Pagan and Sergeant Fumi Moroka. The crime statistics for the month of June in the Eva Beach area, motor vehicle thefts, we had 24. For the district, we had 13 in Eva. Burglaries was 14 for the district and 4 in Eva. Thefts for our district was 106. Eva had 23. Unauthorized entry to motor vehicle, we had 15 for the district and 7 in Eva. Traffic citations, we had 151 speeding, 1,441 moving violations. Parking violations was 556. Total citations issued was 2,134. Total calls for service in our district, we had 8,938. And total calls in the Eva Beach area was 2,765. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
Thank you for that report. Any questions from the board? John, go ahead.
Hey, Corporal, thanks for being here. Today I was in Kalailoa, near White Plains Beach at the end of Tripoli Road and White Plains. And there was a pack of dogs, 7 to 10 dogs that were hanging out there, like all around that corner, just running around. I was in my car, so everything was cool. Later on, when I got done surfing, the pack of dogs was running through the park area and the parking lot. At the time when I got parked my car, I called HPD, I called 911 and asked them to take a look at that. And they said they would. So I don't know what happened after that. Then later on, I called the Humane Society asking what they could do about it. Because this is a pack of, it's not like 1 or 2 dogs. It's like 7 to 10 dogs. I couldn't get a clear count. I was kind of like shocked at seeing that many dogs all around the car that, when I was driving at the corner. So I'm just wondering if I'm just bringing this to your attention and hoping that you folks can go out there and look at it. Or when I talked to Humane Society, they said they can't do anything about it. I don't think you guys can do anything about it, but someone's going to get hurt if these are totally, if they become more feral than what they are. I don't know how feral they are, but I know on the Leeward Bikeway, a young woman about a year ago, 8 months ago, was attacked by a pack of pit bulls. So, and they were truly feral dogs. They had been raised in the woods there. So I just appreciate your help with anything you do with that.
Okay, is that on Coral Sea Road by the S-turn area? I believe we just had a
No,
cleanup over there.
No, it's all the way down Coral Sea Road. Where I saw the dogs was all on Tripoli Road. So you go all the way down Coral Sea and you make that left going towards the White Plains Beach. And they were in that corner and hanging out around the beach park there today. So they move around. I've seen like a couple dogs like moving around, but that's just a couple. But now it's 10. And I know you guys just had a big enforcement over there. So I'm wondering if that was why there's so many of them right now.
And yeah,
Thank
if you have any suggestions on what the public can do in a scenario like that?
For anything, we'll just can call 911. We can check it out. If we can maybe secure the dogs, and we can of course call Humane Society, see if they are willing to come down to pick it up. But I'll definitely pass the message on. We can probably check it out later on this week or the next and see what we can do.
All right. Thank you for that. Any other questions from the board? Any questions from the community? Okay, appreciate it. All right, moving on to board business. So we're going to start with the filling of vacancies. I do recognize some people here from last week. So we currently have 2 vacancies. And just a reminder, this is a advisory board. We're all volunteers from the community. We could use 2 more people that are going to be showing up on a monthly. We have a meeting once a month, so the time commitment is fairly limited. It's not too extensive unless you really want to get involved. There's obviously always more you can do. But if there's anyone that's interested in joining the board, this would be the opportunity now you can come up to the microphone, limited to, I believe, 2 minutes to maybe just to give you an introduction on why you're interested in serving on the board. And then, yeah, we can nominate candidate people if they're interested. So if there's anyone here that's interested in being a board member and helping out your community, it'd be really great. And I'd ask you to step up to the podium. Any people interested? Yeah, go ahead. Step up to the podium, say your name and.
Hey everyone, my name is Charmaine Valerio. Good evening, Chair, Vice Chair, and fellow board members. I was on the board, but I had some family issues. Today I respectfully ask for the nomination for your vote to fill one of the 2 vacancies. My commitment has always been to serve our community, and I bring experience of nonprofit leadership as well as outreach, volunteer coordination, and building partnerships within our community. And if I'm reappointed, I will be present, prepared, and accountable, committed in working respectfully with our members of the board. And to also thank you for having this opportunity to be opened up for other people to join. And my name is Charmaine again. Thank you.
Thank you, Charmaine. I just want to comment that, in situations like this, I think part of the important thing is communication. So I understand you're dealing with a family situation, all that, but I think for all of us, it's when we can't make, and I'm just speaking out loud for all of us, like when we can't make a board meeting, let's just try to communicate with one another and make sure, because then I think that changes the scenario, as well. So yeah, Ed, do I need a nomination before anything else?
Yeah, nomination.
Any other people interested in joining the board? Yeah, go ahead, sir. Step up to the podium, say your name, please, and give a brief
Yes,
introduction.
hello, my name is Aija Prestera. I'm interested in the board. I'm new moving to Edgewater up in Capelina. I'm good friends with Shar, and we've been working on some nonprofit Aloha Spirit Foundation with community at-risk youth, mentorship, some art and music classes, also sports, athletics for the youth, cleaning up like litter, stuff like that, helping with the homeless, also with the price of homes and stuff, trying to work on that. So I'm interested in helping out and being part of the board. Thank you.
Excellent. You said it was Isaiah, yeah?
Aija Prestera.
Prestera?
Yeah.
Okay, Aija Prestera. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you both for volunteering. Anyone else interested in joining? All right. Do we have some nominations? John?
Shar and Aija. I nominate Shar and Aija to
Do
be
you
members of the
nominate
board.
both?
Did I say that right?
Nominate one. I think you have to do one at a time.
Okay, I'll do
Charmaine?
Charmaine. I nominate Charmaine.
Second.
I nominate Aija.
Second. All right. I think we need to, so thank you both. Yeah, you're voted onto the board, so we appreciate you guys stepping up the time. Do we take a break right now?
No, you. I have.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. Yeah. So we got to do a roll call vote on both, or can we just do everyone in favor? Start with Charmaine. Okay, I'm gonna start with Charmaine. Everyone in favor of having Charmaine on the board, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Any abstentions? All right, passes unanimously. Welcome, Charmaine, back to the board. And then same thing for Aisha. Let's get a vote on having him on the board. Anyone in favor? Everyone in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? All right, thank you and welcome Aisha as well. We're going to take a quick recess while we do some formalities, get them on the board, and then we'll reconvene here in a few minutes. Thank you. So you're 18.
We're good.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, moving on to board business B, the election of officers. So just to clarify, this will be from July 2026 to June 2027. And we're going to start off with nominations for chair. So I'll start the nomination. I'd like to nominate Mitch Tynanes for chair.
Second,
Do we have any other nominations?
I'll nominate Alex Gauss for vice chair.
No, wait.
No.
We're doing chair only right now. Thank you. I know we're trying to move through this job. But not like that. Any other nominations for chair?
Yeah, I have to do a roll call for election.
Okay, go ahead, Melissa.
Okay, so this is for chair. If you could say the name of the chair that's being voted. Yeah. Member Espino is not here. Member Gauss,
Do I say I or do I say Tainanis?
or his last name.
Tainanis.
Member Gorman Chang,
Hernandez.
Member Greenland,
Tainanis.
Member Morris, your vote for chair. Tainanis, if you're voting for Tainanis. Okay, thank you. Member Paulman,
Tynanis.
thank you. Member Rogers,
Tynanis.
thank you. Member Rosenly,
Tananas.
Member Tainanis, Member Valerio, and is it Prestero? I'm sorry. Okay, Prestero. 10 votes for Member Tainanis, so he's the new chair.
All right, congratulations, Mitch. Welcome back. It's your meeting.
Okay, next, thank you everybody for your vote of confidence and your vote. Moving on, we're gonna vote for vice chair. Any nominations?
I nominate Alex Gauss.
Second.
Any other nominations? Yes. Seeing no other nominations, nominations are closed. Roll call vote.
Member Espino not here. Member Gauss,
Gauss.
Member Gorman Chang,
Gauss.
Member Greenland,
Gauss.
Member Morris, Member Plowman,
Gauss.
Member Rogers,
Gauss.
Member Rosenly,
Gauss.
Member Tananis, Member Valerio, Member Prestero. 10 votes for Vice Chair Gauss.
Okay, moving on to secretary. Any nominations?
I nominate John Rogers.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Any other nominations? Seeing none, nominations are closed. Roll call vote.
Member Espino not here. Member Gauss,
Rogers.
Member Gorman Chang,
Rogers.
Member Greenland,
Rogers.
Member Morris,
Rogers.
Member Plowman,
Rogers.
Member Rogers,
Rogers.
Member Rosenly,
Rogers.
Member Ternanis, Member Ternanis,
Rogers.
Member Valerio,
Rogers.
Member Prestero.
Rogers.
10 votes for Member Rogers.
Okay, moving on to treasurer. Any nominations? Or voluntold?
Charlene, normally the youngest gets that. Charmaine. I nominate Charmaine.
I'll second it.
Any other nominations? Seeing no other nominations, nominations are closed. Roll call vote, please.
Member Espino not here. Member Gauss, Valerio,
Valerio.
Member Gorman Chang,
Valerio.
Member Greenland,
Valerio.
Member Morris,
Valerio.
Member Plowman,
Valerio.
Member Rogers,
Valerio.
Member Rosenly,
Valerio.
Member Tananis,
Valerio.
Member Valerio,
Valerio.
Member Prestero.
Valerio.
10 votes for Member Valerio.
All right. Any other offers of the board? Okay. Approval of regular meeting minutes for Wednesday, June 17th. Any corrections to the minutes? Seeing none, I guess we'll just file as written. Determination of meeting time. There was a few questions that came up. It's usually from 7 to 10. I think there was a question that if it were from 6:30, start early, finish early, 6:30 to 9:30. I don't know if anybody wants it earlier, later, or keep it the same. Open to discussion.
Yeah, I actually like the idea of meeting a little bit earlier. And that way we get out a little bit earlier just because a lot of us have to work the next day and it just gives us a little more flexibility. It's only half an hour. We're usually all home by then. I'm curious to hear from all of you and maybe the public as well if there are any thoughts on it, but I would be in favor of that.
Anyone else?
If we start at 6:30, you know what's gonna happen? We'll still go to 10. We'll have a 3.5 hour meeting instead of a 3 hour meeting. Okay. So I'm just saying that 10 o'clock sometimes acts as a hard deadline sometimes to some of the things that we're doing. I mean, I totally agree if we start at 6:30, but then we need to set a hard deadline when we end too. Okay. Otherwise, we're just expanding the meeting.
Aren't you, how late can you stay, Melissa? If we do a 3 hour meeting, you're
3 hours is actually the maximum. The videographer and we have to leave by 3 hours. But I checked the contract for the library, and it said that we have to be out of here by 9:30 actually.
6:30 to 9:30 it is.
I'm with the 6:32. It's earlier, and I mean, 10 o'clock is. Yeah. I motion that we start our meetings at 6:30 and end them at 9:30.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor for the 6:30 to 9:30?
Yes.
Any abstentions? Oppositions? Seeing none. Okay, moving on. It's going to be 6:30 to 9:30. Determination for a recess schedule. You guys want to keep the same one? I think it's December and might be May.
Yeah, so my thought is this year we had 2 meetings that were canceled because of various reasons. I would suggest that we just keep the December. I don't really know why we need the May one. I think it's really good for us to meet once a month and then sometimes they get canceled anyway. So I would actually be in favor of us having 11 proposed meetings. That's my suggestion.
I'd say that the only hard thing, if it's the second week, sometimes in May, it's a lot of graduation times, depending upon facilities and different things. So might not get the turnout or people, but so it's kind of, I think, worked out in favor of things, working with schools and their graduations.
Anyone else? So what we can do is we'll do what Alex said if possible. We have the 11 months recess on December, and if we got to reschedule the May meeting to fit where we can fit in. If we don't have that time, we can fit it. So let's just make it for the 11 months and recess on December. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Seeing none. Okay, thank you. Resolution, Kamaha Canoe Club. Shane? Alex?
All right, so thank you, Shane, for leading the development of this resolution. I'm just going to read it here. Resolution of the ʻEwa Neighborhood Board in support of the Kamaha Canoe Club and the preservation of cultural and community outrigger paddling at Pu'uloa. Whereas the Kamaha, am I saying that correct? Kamaha? All right, Kamaha Canoe Club is a registered 501c3 nonprofit organization. Do I have to read this whole thing?
You can summarize it.
Jane, did you want to? We don't have to read the whole thing. We all have this ahead of time. So if you want to just summarize it, you could. Is that correct? Chair?
Basically, with the discussion that we had and the presentation from the Canoe Club, everybody on the board felt was, unanimous moving through to write a resolution and look at it in support of the Canoe Club and trying to support the great things that they're doing, not only for youth, but for everybody in the community. The hard thing is, I think space is always at a minimum. And so when we can find places, it's not adding cost to anywhere and they actually leave the place better than they find it. I think we need to support things like that. So trying to find the avenues in getting the right people to meet at the table so that we can continue with what they're doing. I think everybody felt like, yeah, we support that now. What is the next steps to make sure that, we can make that happen? The hard part is we only an advisory board and we don't own the property, but is there a way to put the channels at B so that we can try to push to assist the Canoe Club?
Yeah, so Shane, I think I'm just going to read the be it resolved section. So now therefore be it resolved that the Eva Neighborhood Board strongly supports the Kamaha Canoe Club and recognizes its 20-year legacy as an essential community and cultural asset to Eva Beach. Urges Capelina Beach Homes and Gray Star Management to reconsider the termination of the club's access and to work in good faith to finalize the proposed memorandum of understanding to ensure the club's permanent presence at Iroquois Point. Recognizes that the displacement of the Kamaha Canoe Club would be significant loss to the cultural fabric of Eva Beach and the preservation of the traditional Hawaiian outrigger canoe practices, and calls upon local government representatives and the U.S. Navy to assist in identifying or securing a permanent safe site for the club's operations should an agreement with private management remain unattainable. Be it finally resolved that the Eva Neighborhood Board hereby expresses its strong support for the efforts of the Kamaha Canoe Club to maintain, preserve, and secure access to areas necessary for its continued operation, cultural stewardship, youth development programs, and service to the Eva community. And be it further resolved that this resolution serves as a formal statement of support from the Eva Neighborhood Board and may be utilized by the club in its discussions with stakeholders and decision makers regarding access and operational needs.
Okay, I need a motion for the resolution.
Chair,
Oh, go ahead, Corey.
I'd like to make one amendment and one suggestion.
Hey, go ahead.
For the amendment, I'd like to add the language to where it says calls upon local government representatives and the U.S. Navy. I'd like to add in the words to actively intervene in this dispute and to assist in identifying. So to add the words to actively intervene in this dispute. Okay, I'll say the phrase.
Corey, can you just say, I'm just curious on your reasoning. Can you
The
just
reason
stop-
is that at the end of the day, Blackstone is the manager of this property from Iroquois, and the Navy, in giving the land to Blackstone, had a master agreement. And so at the end of the day, the responsibility still falls on the Navy that give this master agreement to ensure that Blackstone is actually following it. And I have a deep concern that Blackstone has shown a history of doing this type of behavior. And that if they're just going to ignore the Canoe group, that we don't let the Navy get away with this, that they also be held responsible. So I'd like to insert that the Navy to be intervening in this dispute. I also know that I think Senator Favela was actually trying to set up a meeting with them. And I'd like him to be able to walk into a meeting with something like this, knowing that we support his involvement in getting involved with the Navy. That's the rationale.
Can I get a motion with the addendum to add to actively intervene?
I agree with
David, go ahead.
this is Dave Morris. I agree with the his point here. I just want to note that that paragraph has that qualifier, should an agreement with private management remain unattainable. And so maybe it would be to work in good faith in paragraph 2, to work in good faith, including with the Navy as applicable or as appropriate, to finalize the memorandum of understanding I don't know if that might be. Because the Navy, I believe, is the adjacent landowner that owns the trees that fell on that's actually not part of the lease.
Okay, we're still under discussion. Anyone else?
Just Corey, or Board Member Rosenly, I'm curious, do you think that would suffice to meet kind of what you're asking there?
I'm fine with that. It doesn't really matter. I understand what his argument is. I'm trying to do this on the fly right now. No, it's no problem. And just, I wanted to bring up my other concern was, it doesn't say who this is going to. I do feel that that's important as well, that we know who this resolution, if it's supported, who will be getting this resolution. And so that's one thing that's missing.
Thank you, Chair. Shane, remind me, didn't we originally have a paragraph in there that was directing it to a bunch of people, or was that not the case? Oh, sorry, you didn't have your mic. Do you want to just repeat that in the mic?
So I originally had it going into our senator, community reps, and then the Navy and the Iroquois Point Management Group. But again, it's a letter or it's a resolution that they can take regardless of who they want to give it to, showing that we support it already. So it could go to anybody that they choose to give it to, sharing that the board is in support of keeping that here.
Yeah, I do like, so can I try? I like that idea. I guess the one thing about including the names, you're not saying that that's only for them. It's just you're ensuring, we're basically making a record that this was given to those representatives in general. I'm calling representatives. And I mean, I'm not strongly one way or the other, but I do think there is a benefit in doing that. And in fact, on our previous resolution, Melissa had the idea that we should actually be including the emails of those individuals in the actual resolution itself. And so I think that, and this is kind of a little off topic, but just as a broad standard protocol, we should be doing that and including the emails of the people we're sending it to, just so they have, like, it's shown that it was given to them and that their email is on record. But yeah, I'm open.
I'm fine. Whatever you guys want to work. I'm good.
Okay, so we got 3 amendments on it, right? Corey's, David's, and adding the emails and the names of the, I guess, parties to be not only emailed and mailed to, right? Okay? Yeah, so that would be added to the resolution. Any other add-ons, amendments? If not, can I get a motion?
I motion to accept the resolution.
I second that motion.
Wait. We need
Second, we have.
to vote on the amendment first, agree to the amendment, then we can vote on the resolution with the amendment. Otherwise, we haven't approved the amendment. So right now, if you want to, you can just merge it together to ask the board to approve both amendments and the addition. And then once that's approved, we can vote on the resolution. That works.
Yeah, so again, we're gonna move with adopting those 3 amendments, right? Adding on the Corey's, David's, and the emails and to all the federal, state, and all the agencies email to put their emails on it. Correct?
I make a move to accept the resolution with the proposed amendments.
I second that motion.
Okay. All in favor?
I
All right.
Any abstentions? Seeing none, okay, resolution passed. Thank you, Shane. Thank you, Corey. Thank you, David, for all adding up. Okay, moving on to presentations. Proposed new antenna facility at Coral Creek Golf Course. Is Steven here or online? Okay, seeing none. Moving on to fire and life safety, Honolulu Fire Department.
Good evening, Chair, Vice Chair, and board members and community. Thank you for allowing me to present a community issue from the Community Relations Office. I'm Captain Malcolm Medrano and charged with and responsible for doing the outreach, making sure that we do safety presentations and identify issues in the community and talk about them on how to keep the community safer. So tonight I wanted to talk about lithium-ion batteries. And we all have them. We all have at least one phone, laptops, MiFis, power banks. Someone came with a bicycle. I think that was you, board member Rogers. Yeah. So I saw that. And, you know, it's ubiquitous. We don't even think, we don't have a second thought about it. But with the advancement of technology, we know that they're small. Batteries are really small. They actually maintain an incredible amount of energy, and they can actually quickly charge. So with that advancement in technology comes risk. And so we want to highlight two incidents that happened in your community here. But before we get into those actual incident details, I wanted to talk about lithium batteries in general. So these are some of the major causes of structure fires. And typically it's cooking. So we go to cooking, unattended cooking fires every day. Second is electrical. And the lithium-ion battery incidents fall under that category. So that, and those statistics haven't changed for a long time. But what does that mean for us with lithium-ion batteries? Because it's a different type of technology. The way the battery is made, the way it holds its charge, and we'll talk about thermal runaway. And that's what actually is really dangerous with these types of batteries. It's explosive, the fumes are toxic, and it happens really, really quickly as compared to any other type of batteries. So it's the situation actually in 2023 is where we noticed it. So we had 11 fires in 2023 calendar year. And then it jumped 3 times. So we had 34 incidents in 2024. In 2025, we had 37 incidents. And these are battery fires that led to structure fires. So think about that. There were other battery fires that we've gone to that were smaller and didn't escalate to a full building fire, increasing damages and loss of property. So since we've been tracking this issue, and so we wanted to talk about the types of battery fires. So this is from the Fire Chief magazine. It's on YouTube, but I wanted to show just the types of battery fires that lithium ions are actually involved with. And it goes from everything from a handheld device to actually a micromobility device to electric vehicles.
The purpose of this showreel is to provide some real-life examples of lithium battery fires and illustrate the different ways the fires present in the different devices. First, here are some examples of typical smaller device lithium battery fires which have been featured on YouTube and in the news. Mobile phone fires. A standard mobile phone comes with a built-in safety device which will usually switch it off at about 40 degrees centigrade. But if, for example, the phone was left in the sun on a car dashboard, it will continue to heat up until it catches a light. Mobile phones contain a small lithium battery, typically 60 watt-hours or less. E-cigarettes. These contain a cylindrical cell battery. There is virtually no warning. They almost seem to spontaneously ignite. This can be particularly dangerous when kept in a pocket. Power banks. These devices contain larger size cell batteries, typically 4 times 21/700s, which can charge a phone 3 or 4 times. That amount of stored energy can cause quite a significant fire if the power bank is in a bag or pocket. A lithium battery powering a laptop is usually between 60 and 100 watt-hours and is capable of spraying debris across the office, so is likely to set other areas of the room on fire too. Electric scooter fire. There is more warning with this as smoke is emitted first, but it still erupts into a fire quickly. The lithium battery is in region of 500 to 750 watt-hours. Electric scooters are now banned on TfL network due to fire risk and regular fire incidents which have taken place. e-bikes. These can have up to a kilowatt-hour lithium battery. Just like the e-scooter, the fire starts by emitting smoke first. Using a garden hose to spray the battery with water doesn't make any difference to the fire. It just keeps going. And now for some larger fires.
Okay, so that was just an example of some of the types of lithium-ion battery fires. Again, from our handheld devices, our personal devices, to micromobility devices, the lithium-ion batteries, when they're damaged and they're compromised, create a different type of situation. And it's dangerous. It happens quickly, it's explosive, and it creates a lot of energy, and then it catches other combustibles on fire and creates a full-blown building fire. So one of the things that we wanted to talk about is thermal runaway. So how many of us have ever dropped our phone? We've never dropped our phone, right? So what happens, you drop it once, twice, 5 times, 10 times. It actually damages the membrane that keeps the ions separated. And that's where the thermal runaway, and that's why it happens actually really quickly. So there's a whole science behind it. And again, we talked about technology, but that's where you start getting the cells within the battery. They start to catch on fire, and they light the next cell that's on fire, and so on and so forth. It's really hard to put out. So this is 47 seconds of a thermal runaway. So less than a minute.
Thermal runaway is another hazard to consider. It occurs when the temperature of a battery cell rises and cannot be dissipated. Eventually, the cell will fail, resulting in release of hot, flammable gas, additional heat, and possibly fire. This may result in propagation to adjacent cells, forcing them into thermal runaway as well. Signs of thermal runaway include increased temperatures, visible smoke, compromised cells or modules, popping or venting gas noises, and heat or visible flame. Fire growth can progress slowly or fast, and explosive in nature.
So we talked about the types of fires that lithium-ion batteries are involved with. We talked about thermal runaway. So has it happened in our community? So in March 22nd, we went to a building fire. And these are some of the details from the investigative report from our 850 investigative team. So this particular one happened in the garage. The point of origin was this RA-EV Bullet GTX e-bike. And that's important to remember because you'll see this again at incident number 2. So the source was thermal runaway from a lithium-ion battery, and fortunately, there were no fire injuries. The property loss was $281,000, and the contents was $55,000, including the 3 cars that were involved. So this e-bike was not even actively being charged. So a lot of the times it's overheating when we're overcharging it that creates the thermal runaway. In this particular case, it wasn't even being charged, but it was stored next to a Tesla. And a Tesla is an electric vehicle. So, and the occupants were not at home at the time. So we were able to get there, put the fire out, and remove the bike and get it away from the electric vehicle. So the takeaways from this particular incident is don't put your e-bikes, your e-scooters, your mobility devices. That's good that it was outside, but don't put them next to an electric vehicle. Okay, but we're able to minimize the damage. It caught fire to the upstairs. This was an open carport on the ground floor, but this was a building fire that happened in March. So I asked you to remember that RAEV e-bike brand. So this happened in May. The origin was in the bedroom. So this bike was actually in the bedroom. So that's the other thing. We don't want to keep an e-bike, an e-scooter, a mobility device indoors, whether you're charging it or not. So it should be outdoors and not next to anything that can be combustible, that would catch fire. So again, thermal runaway, no fire injuries, fortunately. Fire loss damage, $233,000 and $10,000 to contents. So about $243,000 of property loss. Again, fire cause determination, not actively charging. This particular bike, the occupants actually witnessed the smoking that started, and then it, of course, catching on fire. So they were able to get out. And again, it's less than a minute. It's less than a minute that you need to get out of the occupancy. So what do we do to be safe? I put safety tip sheets for both lithium-ion batteries, for both handheld and also for e-bikes and e-scooters. So we should not overcharge. Make sure, especially on the mobility devices and the larger types of devices, charge them outside and not next to any combustible type of materials. If you have any questions, you can contact us at fire.honolulu.gov or just simply call us at 723-7168. Thank you for helping us keep the community safe.
Thank you. Any questions for the board? I get two, because you never mentioned like hobby batteries with the cars, planes, drones, the new solar bombs, batteries we get on the houses.
Power tools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now they're using all the power tools for power everything, So yeah, there's a lot of, I guess, batteries out there that.
Yes. And they're good when they work and they're not compromised, they're not damaged, and they work when they're good.
Yeah, 2018, I think my neighbor was charging his hobby batteries in his garage, lit the whole garage up. Everybody was sleeping. Luckily, everybody got out and just right here in Gentry. So, yeah.
So smoke alarms still work. That's the other thing. Smoke alarms will detect the smoke and get you up if you're sleeping so you can get out.
So I got a question. So I appreciate like raising awareness on the dangers, the safety tip sheet. I'd like to hear more about like what I can do, because I have these batteries all over my house and things like that, and I can't keep them away from flammable stuff in many cases. And so like, what can you give the gist or the most important takeaways from the safety sheet?
Sure. So you want to make sure that you're using the correct charging unit. And that goes for even phones. So the aftermarket chargers, the compatibility of the device and the charger actually may not stop the unit from being charged, creating that overcharging situation, creating overheating, and then leading to thermal runaway. So that's key. Make sure that you're charging it with the correct unit or charging unit for that device. The other thing is to make sure that it's in a cool area and also on hard surface that isn't being charged next to like combustibles. That's the other safety tip, if you will, that would decrease the probability of it catching on fire.
Another one is 9-volt batteries. That one, you get them all in one bag. If the metal to metal touch, it creates that heat and also can pop. Oh, go ahead, John.
How many times can I drop my phone before I got to worry about it lighting up?
So all kidding aside, if you smell an odor, if you start to see the battery compartment, whether it's a phone or a device, start to deform, so they do a spin test. So if you can spin it, then you know that it's bulging. You know that the device is bulging, and that's not good. That means it's getting compromised from the internal part of it.
Any questions from the community? Okay, come up to the mic right there. Sorry about that, but state your name and your question, please.
Hi, my name's Ron. Couple questions that I have. So we have standard fire extinguishers because these are chemical fires. Will that work on them?
They will initially, but this is an overheating problem. And so your CO2 extinguishers would be the better type of portable fire extinguisher. So the idea on using the other type of class ABC fire extinguishers is to prevent the fire from spreading to normal combustibles. So you could use it and it would initially work for a little bit, but the best thing is to call 911, get us rolling, and get us responding to the incident.
Okay, thank you. Second question, will those standard fire extinguishers work on the power tool batteries?
Ooh, great question. So again, it does have cooling capabilities, right? Every extinguishing agent has cooling capabilities, so that it will work initially. Yes. There's actually they're working. I just came back from a conference. So they're looking at creating a new classification that's a L category and also an agent, a vermiculite type of dispersion agent.
And then we have an EV. So do the charge limits help? And should we not charge to 100% even on the AC current? Because we stop at 80 on the DC, but
Yeah, so that's recommended. Yes.
stopping before 100.
Stopping before. Yes.
Okay. And then proper disposal of batteries.
Great question. Great question. So in the tip sheet, so our city ENV, if you go to their website, they actually have free drop-off locations throughout the month. So that would be your best resource for a city agency for you to drop off.
Okay.
For free.
Any type of battery.
Yes.
Okay. Thank
Yes.
you.
You're welcome.
One more.
So I'm just like picturing this happening at my house now. So in that scenario where it's like happening and I don't have a fire extinguisher, or you said a fire extinguisher only works in the beginning, like what is your recommendation? You just look at it, you throw a blanket on it, you try to drag it somewhere. What do you do?
Yeah, because you got less than a minute, right? That was 47 seconds we saw that thermal runaway. So the best thing is to get out and call 911. There were some injuries, trying to get the bike out, trying to get it out of the home, out of the unit, and then injuries happen. So the best thing is to get out and call 911.
Thank you. Any other questions online? Seeing none, thank you very much. Okay, we're going to move on to residents and community concerns and community announcements. Limit to one turn, 2 minutes per person. If you guys have any concerns or announcements, please step up to the podium, state your name, your announcement or concern, please. Go ahead.
Good evening. My name is Ronnie Reeves. I live here right in the neighborhood that surrounds this area. So I want to begin by expressing my disappointment with the recent cancellation of the Senator Favela's town hall, which was to just further discuss and inform the community about the ʻEwa Beach Sewer Improvement District project. And that can be found at the bottom of page 3 of his newsletter that's available here tonight. Given that the Department of Environmental Services has decided not to pursue the project at this time, I have a few questions. Since Hawaii law requires cesspools to be upgraded and converted by 2050, how does putting the project on hold benefit homeowners? Or does it simply defer the issue and shift the eventual cost and responsibility back to the individual property owners? Is the city considering an alternate proposal for this community? Or is the expectation that homeowners will pursue individual conversions as the deadline approaches? And if no future city-led project is anticipated, what guidance can the city provide now to help homeowners make informed long-term decisions about their property and prepare for future compliance? I believe many residents left the town hall without a clear understanding of the long-term financial implications of the project if the project does not move forward. Much of the discussion focused on the burden of a new monthly sewer fee and the fact that some homeowners had already upgraded their wastewater systems. However, it was not presented in the context that the approximate 100 monthly sewer fee waiver for those homeowners equates to roughly a $30,000 fee waiver over 25 years, nor was it compared to the potential costs of an individual conversion if no community project is pursued. Thank you in advance for your time and addressing these questions.
Thank you. So just to clarify, this is the conversions from all the older houses from cesspool.
Correct.
To,
the neighborhood right around.
Yeah. That's where my
basically
family
from Hanakahi
all the way back
up to here.
Yeah.
Up. Yeah.
Okay. And what I thought was the road project here on Fort Weaver in the beginning.
No, it actually stops at that road. So yeah.
Okay, got it. Any questions from the board?
I just had a couple comments, and that's that we've actually had representatives from that department. I can't remember what its name, like here at these meetings, and so I don't have answers for any of that or anything like that. But my point being, it's been an ongoing conversation as well, and so I'd be interested to, I don't know your exact qualms or what your thoughts are on that moving forward, but that we have had people come and present, and it's gotten, I don't want to say feisty, but there's a lot of opposing views on this and challenges. And so I just wanted to, it's not a new thing. We've heard about it as well. And just wanted to bring that to your awareness.
Rightfully so. I think the disappointment comes in that there was lack of information shared by the Department of Environmental Services, things that should have been prepared for the community. Apparently, this was a second meeting, and yet the questions that should have been expected weren't addressed. And seemed to be lack of collaboration between the city council member and Senator basically came in and said, I'm opposed to the project. I'm not going to support it. And everything basically spiraled out of control. There is a lot of emotion involved in this because, yes, it is a burden to pay $100 extra per month. But, and it's not equated to, that's a $30,000, waiver that you're basically getting, right? Nobody's sitting in the room doing for 25 years $100, waiver to get to 30,000. Sorry, I work for a bank, so I can do the math, and I'm sitting there thinking about it at the time. But that's not how it was presented, and so everybody's just laughing at that, like, what a joke, And I get it; they paid up front for those systems to be installed, so but they don't see the value in doing that. Also, the primary response is that it benefits the water. And it's also communicated that there's no problem with the water and seepage into our water system. However, that doesn't address the fact that it's a mandated law that we're going to have to, conform to by 2050. So my question is, what is the plan?
Yeah, I think they came down here and they talked about the city was going to put the sewer line, and then the residents could fit the butt to tap your house to the sewer line.
There was going to be an easement. There was no going to be any upfront costs to the homeowners or property owners.
Well, that was not said at this board.
Okay, that's what was presented at the meeting at the high school last month. So yeah, unfortunately, so there was going to be a cost, but there was going to be an easement. So there was to get agreement for that, right? But then there's people who already put in the systems. What was the benefit to them? And then people just not wanting to pay the $100, which I get, but that doesn't negate the fact that we have to conform to the law.
All right, Corey, you got something?
Yes, if you can help me here. At the end of the day, what do you want the policy to be?
I was in agreement to doing it. I mean, I'd rather have the city foot the bill than me having to get a low interest loan, even if I qualify, which I'm probably not. All of these people focus on the $100 a month sewer fee. How are they going to pay for it out of their pocket? They're going to go get a bank loan with interest, possibly for those who don't qualify. And now they've got a $100 monthly sewer fee increase and $700-800 they're paying in a loan, to the bank, because it's going to be 35,000 plus to replace these systems.
So I want to just again try to be clear here. You're okay with it if the city and county picks up the cost?
I was in support of the project presented. Yeah, they're going to pay for the cost. Why not?
Okay. So your biggest concern right now is that the cost is being put onto the individual homeowner instead of the city and county taking on the
Well, my biggest concern right now, there doesn't seem to be a plan.
Okay.
And I'm asking what the plan is. And the resulting implication of no plan is that, yes, what you're describing is the plan.
Got it. Any other questions on the board? David, you got something?
Yeah, just to clarify. So if I understand correctly, whatever the town hall that you went to kind of fell apart because of a disagreement between, there's some folks that have already paid for it that feel it's unjust, that they would have to pay the $100.
Well, no. I mean that, yes, they're going to have to connect and do all this. They've already upgraded their system, so they've out of pocket had to pay for that, right? What's the benefit to them, right? They were going to receive a $100 waiver, but they don't understand that's a $30,000 credit basically for the next 25 years. It wasn't described that way, right?
Understood. I just wanted to clarify. I'm
No,
sorry.
yeah.
Not familiar with
No,
it.
that's what I'm saying, right? I mean,
So here,
you get a $100 waiver for 25 years.
I'm going to go ahead and speak in here. So what I think we should do is, because the last time we had the EMB here give a presentation on that, it was prior to that new approach. And so we heard this old thing about everyone having to front the bill. So what I would say is that we requested the EMB come and give an updated presentation to us on where things stand right now, so we can hear this, because this is news.
I believe it was
to us.
recorded.
And so I'm just making a statement. I'm not asking a question, just to clarify, not to be rude.
Yep.
And so that would be my recommendation, Chair.
We can do that. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other residents' community concerns and community announcements? Okay, everybody get $5, $5. Hey, step up to the mic, state your guys' name. Go ahead, guys.
Good evening. Hi, my name is Matu Beneventi, and I'm 12 years old and play for the 12U Eva Beach Little League Majors team. As a 12-year-old who plays baseball in Eva Beach, we have no regulated field to play on for 12-year-olds. When my team plays, we are forced to play on a field for people my sister's age or on an oversized high school field. This has been a very big safety concern for people like me. When we run bases at practice, we are forced to run on the uneven weed-filled grass, which causes people like me to fall and injure ourselves. What we're asking the city and county is to turn any field in Eva Beach to a league-regulated size field for 12-year-olds. Thank you for your time.
Good evening. My name is Izzy Mataltio, and this was my first season playing baseball. Before this year, I never knew how much I would like this sport. Baseball has taught me to work hard, be a good teammate, and never give up. It has become something I look forward to every week. As we grow in the game, we will need a regulation-sized field to play and develop our skills. This wouldn't just help my team, it would help every team playing now and the kids who will play after us. We are here tonight asking for a chance to play the game safely and the way it is meant to be played. Thank you for listening, and I hope you'll consider giving our community a field that matches the passion and effort we put into this sport.
My name is Raj Cullen. I am a pitcher on the 12U Eva Beach Little League team. 3 months ago, the 12U kids got banned from Pu'uloa Neighborhood Park. So far, the last 3 months, I have been struggling to pitch on flat ground, which has naturally changed my form. My coach told me that pitching this way will eventually hurt and injure my arm in the long run. We have been using a high school-sized field to practice on, but since we are only 12 years old, we need to put the bases closer on the infield. Because of this, I have witnessed a few teammates jam their knees from sliding on the grass. I ask that you consider one of the following options. Number 1, allow us back at Pu'uloa Neighborhood Park. You would not ban golfers from a golf course just because a ball ended up in the neighborhood. But that is exactly what you did to us kids at the baseball field. Pu'uloa Neighborhood Park is the only regulation-sized field with a mound for our age group. Number 2, build a mound at one of the other fields here in Eva Beach. There are multiple fields for juniors and multiple softball fields. There should be one that we can retrofit. We have volunteers ready. Last, number 3, immediately allow us access to Pu'uloa Neighborhood Park to practice our defense and pitching. We should be allowed to at least do that until you come up with a compromise or solution. In conclusion, I hope you will see this as an urgent matter before one of us gets seriously injured. DPR told us that the resident safety is their number 1 priority. What about the safety of us kids? Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening, members and community. My name is Kanan Luquiao. I am a proud 12U baseball player with Eva Beach Little League. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak with you this evening. As someone who practices and plays at several parks throughout Eva Beach, I have seen firsthand how important these parks are to our community. They are more than just a field. They are a place where kids learn responsibility, teamwork, leadership, discipline, and respect. They provide a safe environment where we can stay active, build friendships, and grow as athletes and people. Our parks are valuable investments for the future of our community. When they get there, we can hope. When they are safe, clean, they encourage more families to participate in youth sports and outdoor activities. Well-maintained parks also create a sense of pride and bring our community together. Some of my concerns are not having a proper field for our 12U team in Eva Beach, dead grass, and no soap dispensers in the bathrooms. I respectfully ask that you continue to support and invest in our parks so that current and future generations of children have the same opportunities to learn, compete, and create lifelong memories. Every improvement you make has a lasting impact on the lives of young athletes like me. We eagerly anticipate what the future holds for our parks and for everyone who uses them. Thank you for your time listening to my concerns and for your continued commitment to our community.
Thank you so much for listening. As you know, this is our 12U team. 3 months ago, they were stripped the use of the only 12U field available in Eva, which is Pualoa Neighborhood Park. So as the season is fast approaching for Little League, which will start in August, we are hoping that there can be some resolution to this as our kids and our younger kids, our 10U kids, also will need a field to play as they grow. So this is our next generation of kids. They're 12, they're going to move up and they're going to start intermediate. And I feel like they need to be able to foster their love for baseball, the love for this sport and what it brings to the community. And I feel like we hopefully can find a resolution for this. So thank you so much.
Go ahead, Corey.
Thank you. Could you go back for a second? Could you say who stripped you and banned you from the use of this park?
So it was DPR. So this had happened and they had kind of just told us 12U is no longer allowed to use it. So we all, as parents, there's probably a dozen of us that reached out to DPR. We sent in our concerns. They opened a case on mine. They wrote a really nice long letter that said, this is of concern. They do want to potentially retrofit a field, but these things take time and they don't know when exactly it can happen, but that they'll think about it. And then my case was closed. So I'm not too sure how many other people or how many of the other parents received the same response, but I think we just want to know like when and if something will be done before the season. Or I know a lot of us, they're like, oh, well, we should go to Mililani because Mililani has corps and they have all these fields for 12U players, but we're all from Eva Beach. I don't think we should need to leave our city, our neighborhoods to have to play somewhere else. I feel like there's a lot of players in this community. Eva Beach Little League is almost at 300 kids in the community that come out and play from all age groups. And I feel like we have enough. And if we have your support, that we can have at least one field that can be able to serve our 12U.
Go ahead, Corey.
Is the mayor representative online right now? Oh, he's right here. If you could respond.
Yeah, hello, aloha. My name is Kehao. I'm the mayor's rep, but I also happen to be the deputy director of Parks and Recreation. So I was just made aware of this yesterday. So first, just want to apologize that this has happened, and I'm still trying to figure out what happened, but I want to commit to meeting with you folks and figuring something out, especially before the I guess the season starts in August. Is that
Yes,
what you
ma'am.
said?
Yes.
So I forgot my business card in there, but I guess it's you. Like I'm happy. Like I will be a part of that meeting, and I'll bring our EVA staff in there, and let's sit down and figure something out so that we can malama these keiki here. So yeah,
Thank you so much. We
Yeah,
really appreciate
definitely.
that.
thank you. Good.
Thank you. Any other questions for the board?
I just wanted to say thank you to all of you guys for coming out and speaking. That's, a huge thing to do, and I appreciate you coming out. I especially want to say thank you to your pitcher for throwing it straight down the middle, because I was trying to understand exactly what the situation was, and your comment made it crystal clear where we were at. And I can't speak for the whole board, but you guys have my support.
Thank you. Mike, you got something? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just curious what happened and why did the Pu'uloa neighborhood park become no longer available? Was there an accident?
I can't really speak. They kind of just told us in general that one of the residents had complained of a foul ball potentially hitting their property. So we didn't know exactly what game it was, if it was our game or one of our kids, because there's multiple teams. But because of that, it was all of the 12U teams that were banned. So we're just kind of wanted to figure out a solution. And we love the neighbors at Pu'uloa Neighborhood Park. Don't get me wrong. A lot of their kids and grandkids also play in Ewa Beach Little League. So we also want to keep them happy. We just also want to find a solution for our kids.
Thank you. I know in Ewa Beach, even though we're expanding, one of the largest growing communities. I mean, we are one of the largest, besides Kapolei is part of us, Ho'opili. But the usage of our parks, the parks that we have, I mean, just amount of the 12U, 300. I mean, the parks are so tight already, and you guys got a juggle for everybody who can practice, who can go near there. You get that spot, just look across the street, But Keha was the right person to talk to. She'll get down to it, and she'll work with you guys, and whatever you guys need, we all as a community can help, whatever we can do for you guys.
Thank you so much.
You
And
guys take
these
care.
kids, I'm really proud of them. They weren't sure. They said, oh gosh, we're only one team. And so they were also thinking about it, that it's not just about them, it's about their siblings. As we came in, the 9, 10, 11 All-Star team was playing right here across the street. We were watching, we're like, hey, we know those kids, but those kids will be the next ones coming up to 12U. So even if it's not for us, we wanted to be able to help the next level get to where they have to be. So thank you.
Thank you. And Keha, maybe also, I mean, with this conversation, not only Pu'uloa, if there's any other park in the area that we can kind of work together to make another, dedicated 12U, if possible. I'm not too sure, but yeah. Thank you.
Just if we get an update by next meeting, I'd appreciate it. Okay, thank you. And hope you guys can chat like either outside or something and arrange that meeting then, okay?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, now moving. Thank you guys very much. Thank you guys.
She just wanted to read hers in support of her brother.
Hi, good evening. My name is Pearl Benaventi. I am 8 years old and I play for the 10U Minors Division. I am here to say it is unfair that my team gets to play on a regulation 10U field and my brother's team doesn't. Thank you for your time. Mahalo nui.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, moving on. Any other residents' community concerns or community announcements? Okay, John, and then somebody online. Okay, go ahead, John.
Okay, hi. I just want to advertise the fact that Hawaii Bicycling League is going to be having a webinar on the new law. The legislature just passed a new e-bike law, and I think the governor is about to sign it, or is this special day he's going to sign it, but it's going to be signed. He's not going to, it's going to be signed. So they're having a webinar on July 14th, 2026 at 6 p.m. I got a QR code. I'll put it back on the back table and you can go to there and RSVP because you need to RSVP in order to get the link to be able to go to the webinar. If you're interested in learning about the new law and how it's going to change how e-bikes are going to be able to be used in the state because it's a state law. Also, Hawaii Bicycling League has partnered with Reuse Hawaii, and Reuse Hawaii is where you can bring your household like construction stuff and tools. They actually have a tool rental or tool borrowing area. But so HBL is going to bring all their bikes. They have a room full of bikes, and they're asking for donations. And then you'll be able to buy bikes on the cheap. And all these bikes that they actually have a mechanic come fix them up, and they're in good shape. So if you are looking for a good deal on a bike, in fact, I'm going to donate one of my electric bikes, so that'll be there. But anyway, so that's gonna start on July 11th. 2028 is when they're gonna do their grand opening. It's gonna be all day 9 to 3. They're gonna be there doing some workshops, but July 11th at Reuse Hawaii, that's at Salt Lake, and right near the stadium in that area. And then after that, there's going to be a whole section of bicycles that you're going to be able to come and either donate if you want to donate parts, bicycles, or you'll be able to purchase. Thank you very much.
Any other residents' community concerns or community announcements? You got something? Okay, go up to the mic, state your name and your announcement or concern.
Aloha Chair, aloha Vice Chairs and members of the board. My name is Joshua Tom. I am a student at James Campbell High School. I just had one quick announcement. We have been my peers and I, we used to hold STEM classes once a month at James Campbell High School. We've been doing it since October. We were also recognized by Congressman Ed Case for our efforts to bringing STEM and education back here in ʻEwa and to kind of give students the opportunity to learn about different pathways that they could look forward to going into high school and into college as well. My quick little announcement was we've actually been holding a week-long summer camp right here in the library, hosted by the library. So it's been directly in this room. It's been going on this entire week. So just before, they cleaned up pretty well because there used to be a bunch of craft materials right here before you guys came in. But tomorrow it will be our final presentation. There's going to be a potluck, so feel free to stop on by for free food. I also do have physical invitations if that'll help as well, but it'll be from 12 to 4 p.m. We hope you guys can come see. There's about 25 students who have been showing up every single day this week, and we would love for you folks to come by and see. They range from the ages of about 6 to 14, so elementary to middle school. So if you folks would like to come in and see what the kids have done, we'd love to have you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, you got one online. Aloha Aina. Oh, sorry. Honu Aina.
No, I'll take that. Mahalo. Aloha nui. My name is Honu Aina. You guys can call me Honu. And I was like, as soon as I realized I was at ʻEwa, I was like, oh my goodness. So aloha Alex, aloha chair, aloha vice chairs. I'm seeing Mike on the screen too. Hello, hello. I am wearing a Serene hat today. Most of you folks in the room know me for my Sierra Club contributions. But I'm calling with the Serene Oahu Hub Learning Community. We are a joint program with Kapi'olani Community College and then the Lahui Foundation. And some of our partners are Haima, the Hawaii Climate Commission, Vibrant Hawaii, the Hawaii Food Bank, among many other memberships. I am here to just advertise and invite you into our space. Our group is a community of practice that is to support individual resilience hubs or micro networks and regions for coordinated learning for emergency preparedness, climate change, which we are going to be having impending hurricane season coming soon. So we do know that climate impacts are going to only become increasing and disruptions are going to be more frequent. And so our job, or at least my job, is to create a space monthly for us to have shared conversations. There's already amazing groups who have strong CUIs. If we want to know what a resilience hub is, you don't have to have necessarily a site or a group or a brick and mortar space for you to host, but it's a way for us to create coordinated efforts in the times of a disaster, so that if we have a group of 5 people who we know knows all of the community members, then maybe we can connect them to the Croc Center. Croc Center is probably our only Eva Beach connection right now. And so I was like, I am in love. Like, I've always loved the Eva Beach community. I know we're strong. And so I wanted to make sure that I spent some time to share this space so that your local expertise can be involved as well. Part of our job too is to resource and empower that expertise. We have the Ili mini grants. It's a small community grant, $50 to $250 just to seed these conversations. And it can be for any type of event as long as it's towards climate change, emergency preparedness, or even just what do we need? What are the needs, disparities in our community? Anything can be funded. That's the beauty of this, just so that we can create space for that. I will maybe share my email. And let's see what else. And then if you would like to join us, we have monthly meetings. Our July meeting will be on Thursday, the 23rd or the 24th. Let me clarify. It will be the 23rd at 3 p.m. 3 p.m. on Zoom. Normally it's every third Thursday of the month. And we provide certifications monthly as well. We've provided psychological first aid, disaster first aid, CPR. And then the beauty of, if you join as members, you could tell us what other certifications you need. And mahalo.
Thank you very much. Can you share your email in the chat?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Any questions from the board? Seeing none, thank you very much. Any other questions, concerns, announcements from any board member or community member here or online? Seeing none, thank you very much. Oh, I got one concern. Oh, Mike, sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
Well, I just, circling back, I've been coaching younger folks on Eva Beach Little League as well. Great fun. The Eva Beach Little League has expanded all the way to Makaha. It's growing, and the condition of our fields is really, now that I've been on all of them, is really abysmal. And them losing that 12U field is a real big loss. And if we need to do a resolution or something, if that's going to help them accelerate the process of getting somewhere suitable for them to play, I'm happy to help any way I can. But yeah, the condition of our fields really needs improvement. But this is the first I'd heard about it tonight, and I just want to say that if anybody there, I'm Rugrats coach, assistant coach, holler at us and we see if we can help from the board's standpoint at all. I'd be happy to help any way we can. We really need to work on that.
Thank you, Mike. I get one concern. It was brought up from one of our board members, Rogers here, Kihau, the city. The concern was that to HPD about the feral dogs. It's similar to the chickens, the dogs, but the dogs is the one that go and bite people. They say call 911, call HPD, call Humane Society, you call DLNR, and they do that whole roundabout because they all are not like prepared, or they don't catch big animals. They usually call me, truthfully. I was letting them know they call me. But before somebody gets mauled, yeah, if we could get some type of, I guess, guidance, like who really to call. I mean, everybody's gonna point the finger, and then when something happens, and then just want to make sure that the community gets the right answers, I guess. But yeah, that was brought up with board member Rogers. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to other monthly reports. Hunt, communities. Anybody from Hunt? Seeing none. Moving on to Gentry Homes. Any updates?
Hello. Yes.
All
My
right.
update. Thank you all. Hi, I'm Sunny Rosario, speaking for Gentry tonight. Our update is we did receive comments from DTS and are updating the design based on those comments. But we would still like to meet with them to confirm the extent of the signal interconnect cables. That's all for Gentry this month. Thank you.
Yes, like on Geiger. Any questions for Gentry? Anyone? On the board, on the phone, on email, nothing. Okay, seeing none. Thank you very much, Sunny. Moving on
Thank
to
you.
Aseko.
Hello, good evening. Ki Olaf
Okay, go ahead.
Fisher here with Haseko. I just have a brief update on the ʻEwa Carnival. The event will return for its second year at Waikai on Saturday, August 15th and Sunday, August 16th from 2 p.m. To 10 p.m. Haseko, Waikai, and the event promoter met separately with community and area lawmakers after last year's event to gather feedback and identify areas of improvement. We're working together to finalize event and parking logistics. Since the August neighborhood board meeting is scheduled for the Thursday before the carnival, we'll be happy to report back once those details are confirmed. With that, I'm open to any questions.
Okay, we got one from board member Rogers. Go ahead.
Sure. Hi. Thanks for being here. There's a conditional use permit that major 2026 Cup 38 that you folks are working on. I guess the meeting is July 24th at 10 a.m. at the Fosse Building, and comments are due by the 24th. This is regarding the luau, at the larger luau, the permanent one. Is that correct?
To be honest, I'm not. I would have to double check. I think that would be
It is. I have the paper. So I'm the point I guess I'm trying to make is that folks can make comments about to the PUC. So Honolulu.gov DPP. If you go to that, you'll find the website, and they have a great website that you'll be able to zero down right to the luau section, and it'll give you the information that you where you need to make your comments. But you can make comments about the luau site at in the Haseko, what's that? Vaikai, yeah, the Vaikai area by July 24th, 2026, 10 a.m. That's the latest you can make your comments, or you can attend the meeting.
Any other questions from the board? Any questions from the community? Online? Seeing none, thank you very much. Moving on, Dear Horton, any updates? Anyone online? Tracy? Nobody? Okay. Okay, moving on to government officials. Moving on to U.S. Marine Corps, Base Hawaii.
Good evening, chair, board, community. So as many of you know, we recently had a change of command from Marine Corps Base Hawaii. So I'm joined by Colonel DeTrinis. So he's just here, opportunity to introduce himself and meet the community as well as the board.
Hey, I got a chance to meet everybody before. As he said, I'm Steve DeTrinis. I wanted to thank them on their way out. They're awesome. I got multiple baseball boys in my house. So I'm Steve DeTrinis, took command of Marine Corps Base Hawaii on 21 May, so right before Memorial Day. My wife, Margaret, and I have been here on the island since 2023. We worked at Camp Smith for 3 years. We have 8 children, been married almost 23 years. Our oldest graduated, Damien. She goes to nursing school in DC that the Navy's paying for. We have a senior and a sophomore at Damien, both baseball boys. 8th grader at Kailua, special needs, goes to in their certification program. And then we have some homeschoolers that you may see surfing out on this side or on our side. So pretty involved in the community. Happy to be here and to be present in as much of these engagements and others as possible. Still learning the lay of the land and getting some of the history on our involvement and commitments out here in in Eva, but I would like to say I kind of view what Marine Corps Base Hawaii and the Marines do in the Pacific with, kind of 3 large bins. There are 3 no-fail missions. One of them is to project power. Like, we are the Department of Defense, the Department of War. Our job as an installation is to help those units build their readiness and go forward. We just returned about 1,500 Marines from 3 months in the Philippines doing great work. We still have Marines at Diego Garcia. 15 or so years ago, we never thought Diego Garcia would be hit, and it was attacked by Iran. So the world, the Pacific has changed, which kind of leads me to my second point, or second no-fail mission, and that's to protect. The number one task in the national defense strategy is homeland defense. And on the windward side and over here, we contribute to the defense of Hawaii, and we're responsible for protecting our people and our infrastructure and then our neighbors, which kind of rolls into the third bin, and that's to be a steward. We have to be a steward of our resources, and that includes the land we're on and good neighbors, right? Integrate with the joint force. That's how we help defend, and then integrate with our neighbors and our hosts here in Hawaii. So that's kind of how we view what we're doing. It's going to create a little bit of a culture shift from the installation, not so much from the Marines that do go forward. And it'll probably change a little bit of our approach with our hosts and you all, and then our windward side hosts for the positive, I think, especially when people do realize, because I've gotten those questions. You're going to defend. What are you defending? Just your base? No, Homeland Defense is number one. You can read it unclassed. Countering and competing with the People's Republic of China, the Communist China, is number 2. That tells you something. And we're here, and we're neighbors. And how can you tell if it's a military person or not a military person living in a house? And you name the neighborhood. You can't. So we're all in it together. I'll stand by for any questions before I give it back to John.
Thank you. Any questions for the board? Okay, Alex?
Yeah, thank you, Colonel. Welcome. And thank you for all you do. Obviously, protecting our nation is high on everyone's list. I'm sure your people have spoken to you a little bit about some of the issues with PRTF, with the range and the history here in the community, and some of the resolutions passed by this board as well. If not, I'm happy to have a conversation with you and just talk about some of those more explicitly. And I'm sure you're probably aware of the PRTF working group, which was specifically focused on the lead. So we'll have another meeting. I think it's tentatively sometime in August. It would be really great to see you there. And so we can have, I think one of the issues with that working group is that we're talking with messengers, and it would be really good to have some people with a little bit more sway. And Colonel Bevan was at several of those meetings as well. So I just invite you to participate in that. And then again, just like sharing some of the history on the resolutions of not just the lead, but also noise issues and things like that. I'm sure you're going to become familiar with them because it's quite a bit better noise wise and things like that. But I just want you to be aware of that. And I'm sure you are, but that there are some ongoing issues here in the community. And we hope that will be open-minded and look forward to working with you.
Yeah, definitely aware of them. I appreciate you bringing it up. I would like to hear your perspective on them. I mean, there's a lot of sides to every story, and I need to hear them all. We'll be there. I'll be there as long as it's not like the 9th through the 12th of August. We got some pretty big events in the Commandant coming through. So I'll be a little consumed those days, but other than that, I'm in.
Any other questions from the board? Corey, go ahead.
Colonel, I know this is not necessarily your area, but last meeting we had a canoe club, and they were right over here at Iroquois Point on the Navy. And we were discussing this at the beginning of the meeting, that we're really trying to have the Navy intervene so that they can use this land in Iroquois Point for their canoes. We're not necessarily having the best success of getting some information from them. So it'd be a great, thank you if you could somehow, they might take your phone call, okay, hopefully. And so if you could put in a nice word to see if we could somehow advocate for this canoe group to be able to use the Iroquois home base.
Yeah, I definitely will, but I'd also offer, as far as government, the federal government, when we provide support to non-federal entities, I'm going to use like precise lawyer language, there are some conditions that must be met. we're going through it with some people now. So we host the Canoe Regatta. It's happening this weekend. Regatta, canoe clubs from all over do it, but there are very specific conditions that have been met that our lawyers say you can do that. So without knowing all the circumstances, we are restricted from and very wide-eyed and intentional when we get involved in those things and when we approve them or disapprove them. So I don't know if those are the circumstances, but sometimes better to keep, if they are in fact a non-federal entity not paying money on this resource for the Navy to get involved in that where it's not their land anymore, that creates a lot of conditions that we're really should not be involved in. So we have some empathy both ways. I will talk to them. I'll let them know this came up and give them the heads up. Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam just changed command yesterday. The previous commander retired after 30 years of service. So I will gladly give the new CO a heads up as you asked, but we all got bosses, and running afoul of the law is not a good place to start when you're in command.
Sure. And all I'm asking, and thank you, putting in a good word that's all I'm asking. Yep. Hopefully sometimes you get good people in a room, and when people get into a room, sometimes you don't need to go to the lawyers. You just try to find a nice resolution. And in this case, so hopefully if we can get everyone in a room, we can just be able to advocate and get this done.
Yes, sir. I through the 4 or 5 neighborhood boards we attend to, I feel like I'm not doing my responsibility to showing up in those boards if I'm not explaining some of those things, like the difference between Title II, National Guard, and what they can do, and what Title 10, Department of War entities can do legally, right? So this is one of those cases where I feel like, knowing this information, I should share it with the board.
Thank you. David, you got something?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you again for coming out here, especially right after your change of command. I don't know, it reflects well on you to come out here and I appreciate the attitude that you've brought to this meeting. The one thing I would say, I understand where you're talking about on the NFE issue. I would just say, as you encounter other neighborhood boards and work with us, we may have points where we don't necessarily agree on things, but rather than putting up walls, let's figure out a way to sit down and find a win-win solution for it. And if we can do that, then I appreciate everything you do.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Any other questions for the board? Any questions for the community? Seeing no one online, hey, thank you again. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for all you do.
So, sorry. So that's the introduction. Thank you, sir. As mentioned, we do have the Canoe Regatta this Sunday. So we host that. That's the Huinalu Canoe Club. And so that's Sunday. It's if you want to come and check it out, you're more than welcome to. Part of the Rim Pack partners are going to be in the first race as well. So it'll be pretty cool. It'll be fun. More than welcome to join. Any other questions in general?
Any other questions? Seeing none, nothing online. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to U.S. Navy. Anyone online?
Yeah, you. Good evening, Chair, and congratulations, board members and community. I'll start by providing updates on the due-outs from our previous meeting. Regarding the Kamaha Canoe Club, the Navy is not the decision-making authority regarding the Kamaha Canoe Club's tenancy. The Navy's lease is with CP4 Waterfront Blackstone, LLC, which serves as the master lessee. Any decision to extend, modify, or terminate the Canoes Club occupancy rests solely with CP4 Waterfront, LLC, not the Navy. The Navy also reviewed the possibility of establishing an alternate public canoe launch site along Navy-managed shoreline in the ʻEwa area and determined there is no suitable alternate location currently available. Regarding the unhoused individual question one of the board members had last month, Joint Base Pearl Harbor Security Department coordinates all efforts surrounding unhoused individuals with HPD, as well as local outreach programs offering services and housing support. Every incident is handled on a case-by-case basis as circumstances are not the same. We routinely do sweeps on federal properties in conjunction with social services and HPD. Moving along to the updates for the month of July, we have a possibility for a ship tour on base. It'll be on Saturday, July 25th and August the 1st. If you have groups that are interested in coming out, please shoot me a message and I'll happily get that tour group arranged. Of course, community white boats are available. We have one coming up in August. Anyone interested, please reach out. We'll get you on there. Our weekly Mo'olelo, I emailed it to chair to the group there. That comes out every Wednesday. If you'd like to be added to that distro, I'll be more than happy to do so. And of course, La Lima Navy continues. As you know, we wrapped up last year with 292 acts of community service. Standing by for questions. Thank you.
Any questions from the board? Corey, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I want to follow up on a couple things. With Black Point and Iroquois Point, does the Navy have a master agreement with them?
I'll have to get back to you with that answer, sir, but I will take the question.
So let me follow up. If they have a master agreement with Blackstone for Iroquois Point, does it include maintaining and continuing community services within Iroquois Point? So that's the follow-up. So I understand what you're saying, that at the end of the day, Blackstone has this agreement, but if they're not following the master agreement with the Navy, is it then the Navy's responsibility to follow up? Okay, so if you could follow up with that, that would appreciate it, okay?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you got it.
Second of all, I want to try to best understand what it says, that you handle homeless issues on the Navy land on an individual basis. Do you have a record of, in West Lock, any communication by the police department to deal with the homeless on that? And has the Navy taken any action specifically dealing with the homeless in the West Lock area?
So I'll take that a question back to security department, who provided me with this answer for you this evening. And then I'll follow back up either via email or at next month's meeting, which I plan on attending in person.
Yeah, so if you could give me, it would really help if we give specificity to what's going on with that specific. Okay, thank you.
You got it, sir. And actually, one last, Chair, if I may, apologies. I know Mike Plowman, it's good to see you, sir, here online. I know we've been asking for the Westlock project brief. We've identified SMEs. They're working on getting that brief together. As soon as they have that brief together and they're ready to present it, I will let the chair know and email that over to Melissa so we can get over on the schedule, okay? I understand it's frustrating, it's past due. We'll get it to you as soon as possible.
Thank you. Any other questions for the board?
Yeah.
David, go ahead.
Hi, Chief. This is Dave Morris. Just wanted to ask two quick questions. One, on the Canoe Club, I believe that from the testimony we had last month, part of the concern was there was some finger pointing that happened between the Navy and Capilina regarding something to do with trees that were on Navy property and were under the Navy's authority. And it may have been that finger pointing that kind of caused the situation to escalate initially. So if there is a role for the Navy, I think that's why we included that. If you were listening earlier when we were talking about the resolution,
of course.
I believe that's where we were asking the Navy to come to the table because they are the adjacent landowner. I believe from what I've seen on the publicly filed documents, there's a line there, and where the Canoe Club practices is right there on the line between Capilina and the Navy retained land. My other question, I guess, and so just to close that out, the question then is the Navy willing, notwithstanding the statement made earlier, is the Navy willing to come to the table to help to ensure that, where it has a role that, you know, an understanding can be reached. And I know you can't answer that question, but that's my question back to the Navy.
Yeah, you got
if
it,
you
sir.
have-
No, and no problem. And I'll be happy to take this question back to the installation and to leadership so we can find a solution. But that's what I'll do. And like I said, for the other questions that I weren't answered this evening, I'll be diligently working to get those over either via email or, of course, at the August 13th board, which I'll be there in person to brief. Okay.
Got it.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And my second question was with regard to, I believe there's a scoping EIS or an EIS scoping meeting on Monday related to the it's the landing ship medium. I guess the home porting of 9 of those here. Do you have any comments on kind of what that project is, or is there anything that you can share about that? And
Do you have any
also,
specific questions I could take back?
yeah, so I guess my one specific question is, are they looking into, my understanding is those LSMs, 9 of those is kind of the transportation complement to carry I believe it's called a Marine Littoral Regiment. They redesignated the 3rd Marine Regiment up at K-Bay a couple of years ago. And those are going to carry, I believe, the anti-ship missiles and the anti-drone devices. This is all public information that I've found on this, but and then those regiments carry a logistics battalion that has heavy trucks. So there's about 200 vehicles that would be accessing the RoRo facilities over here at Westlock. That it looks like, I mean, just from the little bit of information available, would have to be coming down Fort Weaver and going through Eva Beach to get to and from those ships. And is that being considered in the scope of the EIS?
Copy, sir. I'll take that question back to the installation, and hopefully I have something for you next month.
All right, thank you. Seeing no other questions. Moving on to U.S. Army. Thank you very much.
Chair, sorry. Chair, apologies. NCTF is on the line, Mrs. Stephanie Abdul.
Good evening, Chair, Vice Chair, and board members. Thank you for having Navy Closure Task Force on. We've completed degassing Tank 11 on June 2nd. And we also have the Environmental Protection Agency posted its final drinking water assessment report of the Navy's enhanced drinking water monitoring of the Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam drinking system. The announcement allows the Navy to return to normal compliance monitor of the system. And we also have the latest edition of our Red Hill Highlights number 44 available on the NCTF app and website. And everyone can stay up to date with Navy Closure Task Force operations and events by downloading the mobile app. You just do it by searching NCTF-RH in the App Store or Google Play, and you can enable notifications to receive updates. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Any questions online? Seeing none, thank you very much. Moving on to U.S. Army. Seeing none, U.S. Representative Ed Case. None. Okay. Mayor Rick Belangiardi, Representative Kehoe.
Hi, good evening, Chair, Vice Chair, and members of the board. Kehaulani Pu'u, Mayor's Rep, and Deputy Director of the Department of Parks and Recreation. For my report this month, first of all, some highlights from the Mayor's newsletter. We have copies there, and you can find it online. So one, there are coordinated efforts underway to strengthen community disaster preparedness. So you can read about that in the newsletter. We have a new zoo director. He is a former Smithsonian National Zoo director, and he'll be leading the Honolulu Zoo. And I mentioned this last month, but we do have a change in leadership, a new managing director designate right now. His name is Krishna Jarayam. He was our deputy managing director. Mike Formby has left the city. An announcement from the Department of Transportation Services. So DTS is lowering speed limits in school zones across Oahu to improve roadway safety as legislated by City Council Ordinance 24-32. Posted speed limits on City and County of Honolulu roadways that border a school will be changed from 25 miles per hour when children are present to 20 miles per hour the hour p.m. on school days only. In addition to the new speed limit signs, the city will be installing and replacing school zone signage of the school that is missing, faded, or does not meet current federal standards. There are more than 200 schools on our island, so this large-scale effort involves thousands of roadway signs. Given resource constraints, the city will implement the changes in phases over the coming years, starting near public schools. Priority school zones within each city council district were identified based on school enrollment, Title I status, students living within walking distance, level of education, crash history, and speeding issues. For roadways not under city jurisdiction, the department will request lower school zone speed limits to the appropriate roadway owner or operator. If you have any questions or concerns, you can email cchsrts@honolulu.gov. So follow up last month's report, and they were all DPR concerns. First is the question about CRB treatment in ʻEwa. So DPR does confirm that we are not currently treating palms in the ʻEwa Beach area, nor are we planting any coconut palms here in ʻEwa. It's, I'll just speak, it's a really bad problem. It's one that we have not solved yet. And so we are not investing in new palms or coconuts until we can figure out how to resolve this. Brush clearance. So member Rosenlee requested that the brush at Kapapapuhi Point Park be cleared to prevent fire. So our district will be assessing Kapapapuhi Point before the end of July, and then coming up with a plan of action to address the brush there. There was a question about the Oneula Beach Park Comfort Station and CIP status. Acting Chair Gauss asked for an update on the comfort station design and on related CIP funding status. So the design is in pre-final stage with a target advertisement date in January, February 2027. I think I shared last month. So we do have 1.64 million in CIP funds in fiscal year 26, and another 1.5 million was approved just July, just last month, for fiscal year 27. So we're good. And so let's hope things look to be on track. There was one more concern that was raised. And I know my department responded, but it didn't make it into my report. I think we didn't submit it on time. And this was the exceptional tree recognition request for a plaque for ʻEwa Beach's first designated exceptional tree. So I'm just going to email the Parks Committee Chair and Vice Chair, John and Alex. I'll email you folks an update, and then I'll come back next month with an update for the board. That's all I have. I did make notes of the community concerns for city, and Melissa does a great job of taking notes so that I can come back next month and follow up. Any questions?
Any questions from the board? Corey, you got, and then Alex, and then John.
Cal, thank you for looking up at that one. So the city and county is going to go to Kapapapui Park and look and see if it is a brush concern.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go assess.
Yeah, that'd be great if you follow up.
Yeah.
My question is if it used to be regularly maintained. Years ago, right before COVID, it was like every quarterly had been done for years, and then it stopped. I'm really curious to find out why it stopped. Was it that the with parks was not getting enough funding? What happened? Was a decision made by the city and county? Was it by the mayor? So at the end of the day, it'd be nice if it was taken care of, but it'd be really interesting to find out what decision led to it just going, fallow there. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Cahill, for that great report about the comfort station. Can we make a request for CRB treatments of our palm trees? Particularly, we have 2 beach parks that still, they don't have that many palm trees. Howe Bush has lost 1 or 2, but there's still a lot that are really healthy. Is it possible to get, the mesh that keeps the beetle out, or maybe hang some of the hormone attractors? Can we request that those 2 parks and some effort to focus on keeping CRB out of there to try to preserve the healthy palms that still have there, and hopefully they can make it through?
We can put it in. We can put a request in. I can't promise that we're able to do it. It is resource intensive. And they're again trying to focus on the areas where they know trees have best, where they have best, what's that word? Chance for
Resilience or-
survival, yes.
So let me follow up on that then. Is
Yeah.
there something or some kind of study or survey that's been done to show that the ones in our parks don't have a better chance at survival? Or how do they come to that conclusion?
Not sure.
Yeah.
Can't answer.
Can you, because we really don't have that many, and I know it's resource intensive. I don't know what that entails for you guys. Maybe you can tell us about that, but we don't have that many, I feel like, and it would be a lot. And now we're getting the comfort station. We're trying to keep these places beautiful, and it'd be really great to try to keep our few palms that we have. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so just to go back on that coconut beetle, if you go to the Westlock golf course, all their coconut trees are dead. So, and I don't know about the other golf course, and I know Kapapapui Park, they're losing coconut trees, especially along the Westlock Shoreline Park. So we've had some coconuts, and they've actually, you folks have come in and removed the ones that were dangerous, that just had no head on them. So we appreciate that. I just wish with the UH giving away all those kits, it's too bad that we couldn't find a way to, because, I would volunteer and do it, but I need a lift truck or a big ladder. But anyway, to go back what I'm really here to talk about, did you hear the whole conversation about with
ENV?
with HPD about the dogs,
Feral dogs.
the feral dogs on Tripoli Street. So that's a city street by going into White Plains, and so they're going into your the Kalailoa parklands. I mean, they're going in and out of that. So I think they came from Kalailoa parklands with the folks that were living out there. So and when I called HPD and I called Humane Society, I got like no help. So it's a big problem, and there's 10 dogs out there, 7 to 10. I don't know the exact number, but it's more than 5, and it's less than 20. But it's a lot of dogs, and they're all hanging out together. And that's, when I saw them, I go, that's like I ride my bike out there. A lot of pedestrians, they park at White Plains and they run, and I'm afraid that someone's going to get hurt when they start getting really hungry. So appreciate any help the city could do with that.
We'll put it in the report and we'll get department responses.
Any other questions from the board? Mike, you got one online?
I do. First off, thank you very much, Kay Howell. You are very good at always following up on everybody's concerns. It's greatly appreciated. Adding to the CRB thing, yeah, we're treating the ones that have the best chance of survival. And I would submit that Pu'uloa Beach Park, those trees are about 25 of them. And upwind of them is 135 acres of no trees, no coconut palms, because that's Pu'uloa Range Training Facility. So this whole stretch of Eva Beach Road, Fort Weaver Road there is relatively isolated. And it's the beginning of it is Pu'uloa Beach Park, except for the one little road there. I would submit that if there were a place to experiment on the treatments that are accepted by the University of Hawaii, and they're even giving some of these things out. And John, they have lift trucks. They're out there trimming the trees with them all the time. So treatment it's not as labor intensive as you'd think. It probably takes about 10 minutes to treat a tree. I'd ask that be revisited and discussed. And the other thing I'd like to bring up is, and you were there, and thanks for stepping in, about the the Eva Beach Little League situation. Really, houses by golf courses get hit by golf balls all the time, and we don't shut the golf courses down. Maybe there's a way to put some netting up that might prevent more foul balls. I don't know if it's a big problem or what. I don't know that that's the extent of the problem, but I sure hope you guys can take a really good look at that. I mean, baseball's real important around here. Look, every year these islands tend to put a contender in the Little League World Series, and there's no reason why Eva Beach couldn't do it again. But when you put a barrier like that, and we take away a place for them to play, it really throws a wrench in the gear. So thanks very much for taking those concerns back, and I appreciate your attention and your thoroughness. Thanks so much.
I just have one more, and it's kind of long term anyway. I just are you familiar with the resolution that we passed last month about the Tripoli to Keanu Boulevard connection to try to get a pass through connecting to Kailaloa direct from Eva Beach, so you don't have to go all the way around?
Yeah, I missed that one.
Okay, so I have that resolution. We passed it, and I can share it with you. And the whole idea is really, I know there's a lot of stakeholders, and there's the infrastructure on the west side, west of Waikai, where the fence is. Are you familiar where I'm talking about, more or less? Okay, so Waikai, the wave pool and all that, and then it basically ends. And then there's, after that is White Plains, right? And so and that's all Kailaloa is on that side. So the whole idea is to try to over time, I want this kind of front and center within Kailaloa's plan and your participation, and help us kind of raise that profile of trying to improve that infrastructure so that at some point within the next few years, we can have a connection that goes through. And so I'll share that with you. And I just want to get it on the mayor's radar as well. So thank you.
Okay.
Any other questions from the board? Any questions from the community? Okay, Kurt, go ahead. Senator, go ahead.
I get too much, so I'm probably gonna have to give it to you. First one that's really important is the road safety traffic calming devices that was promised me 2 years ago. I know you guys have changed again, transportation director again, but Kuhina and Hanakai, there is no traffic calming devices. They're gonna put those nice little yellow, black lines so they can give us one patch job that is not good. The road is falling apart. We never got it repaved for decades, and that needs to be done. So I want to follow up on that and find out who's the new director and have them give me a call. And then talking about the parks that they're all talking about, the trees in the back, go and look and ask Laura Thielen, and I'll give you the other name. They have a crew that's dedicated to take care of that. They hired an emergency crew that they still have it. Part is there's too much nepotism. Person that's running that crew, the director from the park, that's the brother. So they're not doing what they're supposed to do, and they got hired to take care of that bush you guys are talking about in that area. That's their job. So can you go look in that, and I will give you some evidence on that too, okay? And for making the trees, for the palm trees, it takes about 30 minutes for treatment. You just don't put the boom in the air, shoot some water, and power. It takes about 30 minutes or more for doing that. And did anybody call the Humane Society Enforcement Division? Okay, me and you go talk afterwards. And then we're talking about the park, yeah? That the city won't step in, foreclose the park because a ball went to somebody's house that, again, I'm at that park all the time, nobody ever complained to me. But to stop an activity like that because of one complaint. So golfing, if you hit one ball and you crack one window, they get the golfer, if they catch them, to pay for them. So if the Little League is there and the ball do go there, the Little League have insurance. So again, by taking away one field, we don't have field. So I don't know if Laura or anybody else outside of the community know, that's the biggest thing we have. No fields, no improvements. They took away the field that we had in Haubush, took out the backstop. There's a lot of things. The one over here, they never finished improving it. So to make a decision like that, that's irresponsible to do that and then costing these kids because one ball went hit into somebody's yard. Because if that's the case, then I want all the golf courses to close down.
Thank you,
You
Senator.
know what I mean? Okay? So again, if you can just check with that, and I'll talk to you more about the parks and the designated crew. They have a crew of 7. to take care of that, and they haven't been doing it
Thank you,
since
Senator.
last year. Okay, thank you.
Hey, you brought up what I was gonna ask. The
Oh.
backstop on the ULA. I was gonna ask about that one.
Was that taken out as?
Yeah, that was all
for
rusted. That's
this
why I
year?
got taken out. Yeah. But if there's any plans to putting any backstop, and if so, build on field for the 12U as well, if possible.
Can I just?
Go ahead, Kel.
So a couple of things. One, Roger Morton is still the director of the Department of Transportation Services. We have a new deputy director, but yeah, so it's still Roger Morton. So that's one. Shucks, you said so much. I can't remember the rest. That there was something else I was gonna address. Oh, I did acknowledge, what happened with that Little League team. So I am planning to be a part of the meeting with them to make it right. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Kel.
Hello.
Okay, moving on to Council Member District 1, Andrea Tupolo. Anyone on the line? Nope. Okay, moving on to Council Member District 9, Augie Topa.
Aloha Chair, board members. Everyone should have a copy of the council members' monthly report. I don't actually have more of a report anymore for you this evening because everything I was going to talk about really got talked about. So I guess I'll stick to questions.
Any questions for the board? Any questions for the community? Again, if you can follow up what board member Rogers was talking about the dogs and, it's a city, city police, DLNR is state, HPD city. So, everybody's gonna point finger. So hopefully the council member can point the right finger. All right. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks.
Okay, moving on to Board of Water. Keone.
It's Keone Matos from the Board of Water Supply. For our main break report, had two main breaks in the month of June. The first was on June 21st, 8-inch main break at 91 Bryan Street. And on June 22nd, a 16-inch main break at 91 1450 Farrington Highway. For our announcements, we're talking about our plant sale. I got some flyers in the back if you guys want to go and pick them up. But everyone is invited to the 2026 annual Unthirsty Plant Sale at the Halava Xeriscape Garden. Address is 991268 Evina Street on Saturday, August 1st from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. The 3-acre garden is a lush oasis nestled in the Halava Valley Central Park industrial area. It's a live display of a lot of native plants and drought-tolerant plants. When you do come to the plant sale, they're not accepting cash. So if you do want to buy plants, it's major credit cards only. Admission is free, and you just park on the main road again. That's Evina Street, and you can catch a free shuttle bus to get you to the garden. The plant sale is a family-friendly event that will offer a variety of native and unthirsty plants for sale by local vendors. A team of plant doctors from the UH Master Gardener Program that will give plant care advice. Informational booths about rain barrel catchment and many others, as well as free soil conditioner. So there's more event information on our website, boardofwatersupply.com/plant sale. And just to support one of our other local agencies, I brought some flyers provided by the Hawaii Wildfire Management Organization about how to be alert and prepared and informed about wildfires and how to make your property and where you live to be more wildfire resilient. So there's some tips and some flyers in the back where you can visit, again, the Hawaii Wildfire Management Organization website at hwmo.org. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Any questions from the board? Any questions from the community? Online? Nothing. All right, Keone, thank you very much. Okay, moving on. Governor's rep. Oh, sorry. Take a step back. Take a step back. Department of Education. Sorry, John.
Wrong one. Definitely not the governors.
Sorry, my bad.
Moving forward. Good evening, John Lee, Complex Area Superintendent. We're well into our second month of summer. Most of our campuses did offer some type of free summer learning. That includes summer school, which is the credit-bearing classes, or summer learning hub, which would be more enrichment, social emotional activities, or summer bridge, which is to help transition students onto their new campus. The school year did start. We have still our only multi-track school in the state, Polomua. So they started their new school year already yesterday on July 8th. So for the rest of our schools, most of them, teachers come back on July 28th, and then students the next week after that. Some schools do have additional waiver days at the beginning of the start of the school year. Some personnel announcements. Campbell High School does have a new principal now. Miss Anela Pia will be starting the school year at Campbell High School. She was the principal at Kaimiloa, so moving over the fence line. So she will be starting the school year as the new principal at Campbell High School. Stepping in for her temporarily at Kaimiloa will be Miss Larissa Gaydash. She's the vice principal at Eva Mackay. So she'll be temporarily placed at Kaimiloa, be the principal there until we can find a new principal for that. Okay. Any questions?
Any questions from the board? Okay, we got John and then Corey.
So just this is just a thought thing. We've been having discussions in Hawaii Bicycling League and other things about, we do bike ed with the fourth graders, and we really believe, and I thought this was going to be talked at the legislative level of actually funding, basic education for riding bicycle, traffic safety, all that stuff at the middle school and high school level. Has anyone in your world talked about that, or what do you think about that as an idea? Because you can actually get it done for free, like with how Hawaii Bicycling League does the fourth graders, as long as we can find a grant. But for other folks,
I haven't been approached by that about our secondary schools. I think it would be definitely welcome. That's where the majority of our accidents happen, from those age range of students from the middle school to the high school. So we would welcome it. We haven't been approached by the legislature or anybody else, but that is something that we'd definitely be willing to discuss, and maybe just have casual conversations with the bike riders. With the transportation cutbacks in terms of buses, ridership for bicycles definitely spiked because the only options were either walking, riding bike, or the city bus. And the city bus was at capacity in the morning and the afternoon. So we would welcome that discussion.
Corey, go ahead.
Hey, John. Two questions. I'm wondering about the summer free lunch program, what kind of participation you're getting, and also just to follow up with that one. I know the legislature last year changed the law, so it increased the amount of people that qualified for free lunch and free breakfast, and I just wondered to see how that's going as well in the schools.
We've seen a fair amount of participation in the Seamless Summer, if that's the one you're referring to, and that's for any school-aged child. They don't have to be attending that school. There are just limited sites that did offer it, so they have to opt in to the school. This year in the Eva Beach area, I'm aware Keoni'ula did offer that, and a fair amount of students come in. I don't have the exact numbers, but I can check on it. And Campbell also, yes, I saw the sign on the fence line.
And the second part of the question was, you notice an uptick in the amount of students partaking in the free and lunch program now that the income level has been increased?
That's not something I'm aware of, but I can check with our school lunch services.
Thank you, John.
Alex?
Yeah, thank you. I want to start off by, I know we've said this at previous meetings, that thank you again for showing up here. We had so long that we didn't have anyone from DOE showing up, so really appreciate it, especially at your level. And what I'm going to say now, I don't want this to sound like a complaint. It's more like trying to understand a little bit and maybe put it on your radar, given your position is. So my son just graduated from Campbell. He's going to be going to college here in August. And he had very little coaching or counselors telling him, making him aware of like college deadlines, and I was on it, and that's the only reason why most of it happened. I think he would have missed a lot of deadlines, and that really concerns me because he was a valedictorian, one of the 70 that were at the school, and I say that not to brag, but it's more like he was someone that was engaged, right? And it really, I was really surprised, and I'll take it on me. I'm a busy person. I didn't go to the school and ask or anything like that, but that there wasn't a counselor that was on him and making him constantly aware of when deadlines are. And if that's a bigger systematic problem, it'd be something good for you to be aware of. This is at Campbell, so it's our public school here. So I'm particularly concerned, and I want it'd be great to know if there's a way to ensure that that service is being provided to our students so that they're getting opportunities to go to college and not missing important deadlines. I just wanted to comment on it. Thank you.
Absolutely. And if I could clarify, we do have at Campbell High School 2 full-time college career counselors and some dedicated part-time staff. So that's something I'll double check into in terms of outreach. And they do have their own grade level counselors, or sorry, their academy counselors. So they should have a dual layer on that. But obviously something slipping through the cracks if they're not meeting those deadlines, and those deadlines are hard deadlines for financial aid and college applications. So thank you.
Any other questions from the board? Any questions online? Hey, John, I get one. Being that now that's my youngest girl right there. She's 21, not in Campbell anymore. And I got two more 20, soon to be 21. And now I have young ones that's up and coming, going into elementary and soon elementary. But what would be the number one concern as a parent or new parent or up and coming kids? Because before, I never knew about the new drugs that come out. I never knew that from 6th, 7th, 8th grade, I mean, even younger, they think about suicide. As parents, we don't know that. We let our kids go to school, we go to work, we don't, the safety and all that goes to the school, and we don't really know about that things till, God forbid something happened. But what would be, I think, a number one maybe problem or concern that would be in school that our parents need to be aware of? And that can go for you too, Shane, after, if possible.
Yes, well, great question. And I would maybe kind of flip it around. I think we have to be, I think in this information age, they get exposed to so many different things that we weren't exposed to back then. When you talk about self-harm, the mental health, the substance abuse, the vaping is prevalent. I want to say almost a majority of the students have experienced vape and are either addicted to it. I think the positive peer groups are absolutely essential. So keeping track of who those people who interact with your child, and sometimes because of the information age, they're not just their immediate peer group, they're interacting with a lot more pervasive kind of exposure to the greater community, both locally and online. So I think, like always, we have to keep a close eye on our children, but it's harder than ever just because there's so many things that they can have access to immediately. Get them involved in activities, and more likely they're going to have that positive peer group if they're engaged in clubs, athletics, and something to keep them busy. And that way they'll have more people, more eyes. The Ewa Beach community is fantastic. And, even if you can't keep an eye on them, if you've got friends and aunties and uncles that will help keep an eye on them, that's where the village comes in. And I think Ewa Beach does a pretty good job at that.
Thank you. Shane?
Principal Green.
I echo what Kaz Leah said. From what I've seen at the middle school, it's really about who they're hanging out with. It's just that friend group. If you get around a great group of kids and they're involved in stuff, they're going to be focused in academics, they're going to be involved in activities. But it's really where you go, what you're doing, who you're going with. We're looking out for each other because, as we see, there's a lot of things out there. It's not just fentanyl. It could be sex trafficking. It could be, online kind of stuff. So I think the more that you can pay attention to what they're doing and be that figure, it's not being in kind of violating their rights. It's really keeping them safe. And when things do happen, that's the first thing parents ask is, I wish I would have known more so that I could keep my child safe. It's just really developing that relationship that, it's hard because sometimes many parents are working all the time and our kids are being the adult or doing stuff, but just your friend group and knowing where you're going, where they're going and what they're doing.
Thank you. Again, thank you again, Principal Kaz Lee, for always being here. I'm gonna change next time. I'm gonna change around this agenda here. So I'm gonna make sure that everyone here who is present takes precedence on the agenda. Okay, I'm gonna make sure that starting next meeting. Alrighty, thank you very much. Okay, moving on to Governor Josh Green, Rep. Seeing none. Hawaii Department of Transportation. Hey, you got, yeah, Mel.
Hi,
Mel.
hi, my name is Luch. Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Mel Chung. I'm the new DOT representative. I just put an update in the chat box where I have 8 items to report, but it's almost 9:30. Do you want me to go over it or I should just take questions?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. You got 2
Okay,
minutes. Go ahead,
so
Mel.
okay, we'll try. Okay, number one, Fort River Road Share Use Path, Kilaha Streets to Pu'uloa Beach Park. The construction is currently expected to begin around June 2027. Once the plans are finalized, we can come back and give a presentations to the neighborhood board. One thing to be aware of is that the share use path will be built on the Mackay side of the roadway, so on-street parking along that side will no longer be available. Second project, the traffic signal modernization on Fall River. The Fall River Road traffic signal is one of the 5 intersections included in the project. This project is scheduled to be advertised in fall 2027. It was delayed due to other locations. Regarding to the accessible pedestrian signal APS, the city actually managed all the traffic signal on Oahu. They are evaluating the different type of APS system and haven't selected a model yet. For now, we will design the intersections to be APS ready, so it can be easily retrofitted later. But if the city decided on a standard before we can finish the design, we will include that in the project. Project number 3, Kunia Road resurfacing, H1 to Lehman Gate. This project is currently scheduled to be advertised in fall 2026. Because of the limited right-of-way, we weren't able to include bike lanes or wider shoulder in the design. Once the construction begins, the plan is to work during the daytime, so no night work. We expect to finish the construction within 9 months to a year. Number 4, Farrington Highway widening, Kapolei Golf Course to Fall River Road. This project is currently estimated to be completed by February 2028. As part of this project, 2 traffic counting stations will be installed with bicycle loop detections to help collect bicycle traffic data. The current design does not include APS, but it will be designed to be APS ready. Project number 5, Fall River Road Share Use Path, Laulanui Streets to Farrington Highway. We anticipate sometime early 2027 to start it, as the contractor Grace Pacific is still working on other projects. Project number 6, Fall River Road between Geiger Road and Keanui. This project has been delayed and has not started yet. We are aiming to start construction in February in fiscal year 2027. Leeward Bikeway between Fall River and West Lodge Shoreland Park. We are still looking at different options to address the rocks and muds that wash onto the share use path during heavy rains. We are evaluating them and then we'll adjust the issue later. Project number 8, Fall River Road near Kilaha Street. Right now, we don't have an active striping contract, so the work is on hold until a new contract is in place. Once the project is awarded, we will get the work scheduled. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you. John, you got something?
Yeah, Mel, it's so nice to meet you. We just started communicating with Mel with the DOT just this last month or so, and it's so nice that you've come, and what a great report. And we're hoping that you emailed Alex and I with all that information. Can you do that for us?
Sure, we'll do. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we'll share. Okay, so thank you so much for showing up, and I appreciate all that good work that you just done. It's greatly appreciated. Thanks.
Any question for the board? Corey, go ahead.
I do appreciate you coming as well. A couple questions, and I'm probably sure you won't be able to answer these, but if you could follow up later on, that'd be great. Specifically dealing with the zipper lane, I'm always curious. Why doesn't it go all the way back to Kapolei? There's a huge problem of the double lanes, getting all congested all the way until you get to basically Pearl City, that it makes the zipper lane just as slow as the regular lanes. I've always been curious why they don't the zipper lane all the way back to Kapolei, and allow people to go there and do the double lane since you have the space available. And this is just a question to follow up with. I know that years ago they looked about having the zipper lane go westbound in the afternoons, and that was always shelved. I'm just curious if the department has ever looked into how much it would actually cost to do the zipper lanes going westbound in the afternoons as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Got it.
Okay, any other questions for the board? Any questions online? Community? Seeing none, thank you very much. Okay, moving
Thank
on
you.
to Senate District 19, Senator Lamasao. Okay, moving on to Senate District 20, Senator Fibeba.
Invest in a better mic stand. Anyway, you guys got my handout. I just want to highlight what Kaz Lee had said. This past legislation, we put in funding to fund summer school for all. I think Campbell High School had the highest, over 600 students, about little over 300 freshmen. They had a little thank you rally that they had this past week or two. And it was something that it was just very different. And, I thank my colleagues there at the Senate and the House to think about our kids of not having summer school. And a lot of them, the reason why they go to the PE, because these kids want to be college prep, college bound. So not having to go to PE during the regular school year, it's a total blessing. So hopefully we can continue this. And of course, we always like to have free lunch for all. They had provided all of that this whole summer for the kids and the activities that they had. So I think that's something that was great. So I just wanted to thank my colleagues on that and stuff like that. So those was one of the main stuff that I wanted to talk about. And then of course, going into just volunteering and just getting together with. So the highlights, I know we have been talking about this for a while. So I've been doing a lot of research on Capilina and the Navy. So from 2003 to 2009, things was done in Congress and by the Navy, Secretary of the Navy to, land acquisition. So they had a 65-year lease, and then later on, they changed it to a 100-year lease through land acquisition, that we were supposed to turn the land over to state or to the Department of Hawaiian Homes, but due to Senator Inouye at the time. So this is going on back and forth from 2003 to now. So the property, the lease still is under the Navy, the property. The homes was purchased through from Hunt, sold it to Greystar or Greystone, or whoever their company in, and the management that is at Capilina. The reason why I bring up this issue is because I have a meeting with the Navy and Capilina at the end of the month to talk about these issues. The main issue that I want to know, that people know out there, Capilina, the management of Capilina is right now monopolizing on the fact that the Navy sell them per kilowatt way lower than Hawaiian Electric and what they're charging the people. Now imagine you living there for 3 years and your electric bill was between $300 to $400 at the most. This past month, the lady has paying $5,000. Another resident is $7,000. You have another lady that she's going to get kicked out because she has to pay $10,000. And that's all documented. Show me the electric bill. And you know what the best part about it? They send them the bill with the kilowatt usage and the month and the time. And then she goes outside and take her meter. Her meter is lower than the actual bill that they would charge her for the kilowatt. So there's plenty conflict of interest. But again, the Navy, again, we had a meeting with Joint Base Pearl Harbor at this meeting because I want to bring up this and I want everybody to understand this. This land acquisition by the Secretary of the Navy, I want our community and our delegates to write a letter, which I am already working on, to ask the Navy, Secretary of the Navy, to take away and give back the land to the state of Hawaii. Right now, even with the inventory that we have, we don't have enough inventory. Greystar, Greystone, Capilina, whoever they are, they're not managing the property. They're not fixing the houses. There's mold, mildew, falling apart. Nothing is being maintained. It's a cash cow. And if you look at some of the back writings, if you go Google it, it's a cash cow for them. Some legislators prior to me had brought that up. So again, it's a concern for our community when people don't know who to turn to, but they keep pointing a finger. So the only two people that is responsible for Capilina is the lease belongs to the Navy, and the other one belongs to the Gray Star or Gray Stone. That's the two guys that is involved. But again, it's easy to point the finger, and I guarantee you the Navy, Secretary of the Navy, don't know what's going on. To me, if the Navy is charging that kind of kilowatts, what gives the right to Capilina to raise the rate higher? Now you guys got to believe this, higher than Hawaiian Electric is charging now. Okay, the reason why I bring this up on the inventory, Chair, is because Section 8 now, who's in there, is going to move the people out. You know what the issue is? I have a Section 8 voucher. There's no inventory. So now when I leave Capilina from being ripped off of my electric bill and got to move out of there because I cannot afford it, I have no place to go. So we're talking about our houseless, our people that are moving in with families and all that. That should be an issue for this community. So I brought this up numerous of times, and I tell you right now, there's a lot of great data out there. I'm talking about since 2003, when they had the Pearl Harbor, Fort Island Master Plan that included incumbent Iroquois Point. That's how Hunt would end up getting in there, because Fort Island decided not to build the amusement park that Hunt Development was going to be a part of it. So again, this is decades and decades of neglect, not just from the Navy, but from the management company. And I'm asking the delegates and the Secretary of the Navy to hand that property over back to the state and take away the land acquisition so that we can have it for inventory for all of Hawaii to use. Thank you.
Hey, Senator, are you gonna bring Puloa with you to the meeting? Anybody from Puloa Canoe Club? I mean, not Puloa, sorry, Kamaha.
So they're all going to be involved. This meeting is just between us,
Okay.
the Navy, and the management. So if this doesn't go well, we are going to have a press release, and everything that I had said here on the ripping off of the people, abusing their powers in their neglect is all going to be on bullet points. So hopefully they can accommodate, because right now the Navy owns the land. So they're looking at get an MOU with the Navy. Now with Capilina, the land where the canoes are at belongs to the Navy. It doesn't belong to Capilina. And there's another high water mark to talk about if it's belong to DLNR. So again, we still never get the chair because we're in change chair and everything. So we're gonna have DLNR come out there and meet them out there to check the high water mark. And
Yeah.
that's the bottom line.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for the board? Any questions from online? Oh, Corey, go ahead.
So the Navy is going to meet with you. Is Gray Stone going to meet with you? Gray Star, is it?
Well, Capilina, the guys who are managing for Capilina,
Gray Star.
we don't have anybody to the table. I called the attorneys for, not one, but there's a lot of attorneys that represent Gray Star, Gray Stone, whatever. They're not going to be at the meeting. So I'm waiting for them, because right now the person that's managing Capilina is not in town. So I'm trying to make sure, I'm still waiting to hear from Gray Star or Gray Stone, whatever those guys, to see if they can make sure they have a representative or an attorney at this meeting. But that's going to be my request to them right here, right now. It's no secret. I'm going to write a letter to the Secretary of the Navy and to the delegates to ask them to take away the lease from all of them, including the Navy, and give it back to the state of Hawaii, where it should have went back in 2002, 2003.
So let me stop. The electric bill problem. What authority, I don't know if you know this, Senator, gives them the right to not have to go through Hawaiian Electric, to not do the manual inspection of the meters themselves, but to use the software? Is this because Hawaii state law? Is this a county issue? Or somehow is the federal government carving out this thing because it was former land? So what is the justification? What allows them to do this? Do you know?
Yeah, so the buck stops with the Navy. The Navy own the electric grid. Gray Star, Capilina don't own it. They only own the buildings itself. The electric grid belongs to the Navy. So the Navy, maybe the higher ups don't know, The guys on the bottom probably do know, and they're not saying anything to anybody, but they're holding on back seats, so they're negligent themselves. Not just with those guys who are running Renegade and managing the place at Capilina, but I blame the Navy for sleeping on the wheel. And this wasn't the first meeting I had, guys. This is going to be the third meeting. The last two meetings I had, Capilina, nobody represented them. The Navy came out the first one to explain the kilowatts, and it didn't add up, and it's still not adding up. It's getting worse.
I mean, doesn't Hawaiian Electric at the end of the day, they're getting their same electricity from Hawaiian Electric, right?
It's not. The Navy has their own Navy. The Navy have the grid, same like with Barbers Point. Back in the day, they wanted Hawaiian Electric to take over the whole system. But because the Navy grid is not up to par, now they have what, like in Kalailoa Electric or whatever, those guys. So the Hawaiian Electric's not gonna take them. I mean, don't get me wrong, Hawaiian Electric's one is about 1882 too, but the bottom line is the Navy grid is different.
Yeah. Any other questions for the board? Community? Online? See none. Thank you, Senator.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, moving on to Senate District 21, Senator Gabbard.
Aloha board and community members. I'm Melanie June. I apologize. I'm having some connection issues, so I can't turn my camera on. But I'd just like to invite everyone to Senator Gabbard's Listen Story community meeting on Saturday, July 25th. That'll be from 9 to 10 a.m. at Kapolei High School Teachers Lounge. And this month's guest speaker will be Jennifer Walter, Deputy Director of the Department of Emergency Management. And she has good news on the Makakilo Interim Emergency Access Route. A Zoom option is also available for those who cannot attend in person. Just email our office to RSVP. And as always, please feel free to contact our office if we could be of any assistance. And I'm happy to take any questions back to the senator.
Okay, John, go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for being here. This is, I think if you've been online, you've heard me talk about the feral dogs at Kalailoa, White Plains Beach area. And I know that's the senator's district, that area. So if you could have them help us look into that and find out how we can remove these dogs, find someone that will help us, that would be greatly appreciated.
Absolutely. Thank you for the question. I'll ask Senator Gabbard and I'll follow up with you guys via email.
Any other questions for the board? Okay, Alex.
I was just going to follow up that too. It's similarly, I mentioned earlier in the meeting about the resolution we passed about Kaileiloa and trying to improve the infrastructure to have a throughway there. So I don't know if you're familiar with the resolution, but I'll definitely share that with you, and I'd like to get that on Senator Gabbard's radar as well. So as we move forward with the development of that area, that we can try to highlight infrastructure improvements and getting us some connectivity through that region, which is a part of several local master plans. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. And Senator Gabbard actually next Monday has a meeting with the HCDA to discuss infrastructure in Kalailoa with Councilmember Tupola. So we can update you guys what we find out.
So do you have a copy of that resolution? I also gave a presentation at a board meeting here, and I can get both of those to you prior to the meeting so that he can get a better idea of kind of what we're envisioning and what we're hoping for down the line.
I think I could find it online, but if you guys could send us a copy of that, that would be amazing. I could send our email in the chat.
Only if you send a toffee.
I'll let Senator know.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Moving on to Senate District 39, Elijah Perk. Yeah. We're moving on to Representative District 40, Representative Ora. All right.
Aloha board and community members. I'm Jethro Bumonglog and I'm from the office of Representative Reyes Oda. I have two updates for the board. First, on June 17th at Poakea Elementary, the representative hosted her second town hall where she had guest speakers, including James Burke from the AARP, who shared a presentation on how to create a disaster plan, Deputy Director Kehao Pu'u, and Officer Fumikazu Moroka, who discussed homeless encampments and e-bike regulations impacting ʻEwa Beach. Lastly, Sergeant Mike Lambert shared information on illegal fireworks and how residents can report them. The town hall also did a certificate presentation recognizing Campbell student Tracy Beasley Wazinski for her selection as a Hawaii Sister State student for the Pacific and Asian Affairs Council, as well as the 2025 Walt Disney Legacy awardees, Hina Nakashima, Nate Rhodes, and Lunu Bithia. Second, our office mailed out letters to residents living near the Puuloa Rifle Training Facility, summarizing updates and discussions from the PRTF Working Group May 27th meeting. The information we shared included a review of environmental testing, updates from the Marine Corps, and ways the working group is addressing the safety of our communities. Please feel free to contact our office if there's anything we can help with, and I'm happy to take any questions back to the representative.
Any questions for the board? Any questions for the community online?
Yeah, do you know, I guess I could ask this when NCBH was up as well, but I forgot to. So at the most recent working group meeting, we were told by the Marine Corps representative that he would be able to provide us with the sampling locations and what was actually done on the range. And I had spoke with Representative Reyes-Oda a week or two ago, and she had mentioned she had sent an email following up on that. Do you know if she got a response from that? And that can be for you guys as well. I'm just curious.
Double check that, but I don't believe so.
Yeah, I'm the rep, so I could say that. Yeah, that's all right. It's Lieutenant Colonel Andrew Yeager. Yeah, no, so I don't have that information for you, but let's talk tomorrow. I'd rather keep that in the board channels, but we can talk.
I get one question. For the rep, what is their two, I guess, main missions, up and coming as our rep for Ewa Beach? What is their plans? Their two number one plans as a rep?
Oh, yes. So we recently mailed out our PRTF working group letters. We're currently working with on the meeting notes and just check.
No. As a rep, our rep for Ewa Beach, what is her mission? Like, is it PRTF? Or is it schools? Getting rid of homeless?
Yes.
Traffic? You know what I mean? Like,
oh, we're currently actually working on an article sharing information about the new East Kapolei School. Just kind of sharing information with the community on recent developments with the school and sharing information on the issue of overcrowding at our schools and how the creation of a East Kapolei School can help alleviate that issue.
okay. Well, if possible, can you just take that question back to Representative Ora and get that for next month, if probably? I mean, if can. Thank you. Any other questions? See none? Okay, go ahead.
The elementary school in Ho'opili, the Ewa Beach Elementary School, they keep calling them East Kapolei. Is that the fully funded that Senator Lamasao that had worked very hard on getting? Is that the school you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? See none. Thank you very much. Moving on. Oh, sorry. Moving on to Senate District or Representative District 41, Representative Alcos. Nadia. Okay, moving on to Representative District 42, Simon Garcia. Okay. Moving on to committee reports. I guess we can, you know what I'm gonna do real quick since we got time. See, as the as the board, like what Corey was saying, as we push as fast as we can, maybe we can get it quicker without the board business going forward. But raise your hand. Tell me if you guys, anybody wants to chair or co-chair these committees. Okay, Parks. Okay, 3. So we got Alex, John, and Aisha. Okay. Education. Corey, Shane. Transportation. John, Alex. Ampo. John. Public safety, community outreach, homeless outreach. Okay. Charmaine and Aisha. Economic development. David. Climate change. David. Shouldn't have lifted the pen. Oh, Susan. Oh, David and Susan then. Hawaiian Affairs. Mike. Okay, Mike. And okay, Aisha. Okay. Military Affairs.
I misspoke.
Go ahead, Mike.
Military affairs, not Hawaiian affairs.
Anyone else? Okay, Mike. Okay, announcements. Okay. Okay, go ahead.
Thanks, sir. I just want to make a comment for some of the new board members as well, and on just really what. So we have these committees so we can get into some of these in-depth conversations, and so how those work. You actually have to set up a meeting. You have to find a location. You have to provide an agenda a week in advance to Melissa, and so I just wanted for the new chairs that are doing like outreach and education, so you know how that works, and so we don't just have committees on here that don't actually do anything. We should be trying to think about meeting and doing things. Thank you.
This is really important.
Go ahead.
So that nobody show up. So the Kamiloa Elementary Town Hall meeting for the cesspool conversion, that has been put on hold. If you guys read in there, was the overwhelming opposition that came out. So the mayor and Roger Bangkok decided to scrap the project for now, for a later date. But right now, they're not pursuing. So I want to make sure that nobody shows up at Kamiloa Elementary on July 15th because it's canceled.
Yeah, there was a community member that was asking about that as well. Yeah.
It's canceled. Thank you, guys.
All right. Okay, any other announcements before we conclude? Seeing none. Okay, next regular board meeting will be scheduled for Thursday, August 13th at 6:30 p.m. virtually WebEx and in person in Eva Beach Public Library. Regular board meetings are broadcast every first Sunday at 6 p.m. and every second and fourth Friday at 10 a.m. on Olelo Channel 49. Meeting adjourned. Thank you everybody for coming, staying, and drive safe.